Hello and welcome all. It is a big day, real big day. I mean, we're recording early this week. We had some plans get kerfuffled.
Yeah, thanks for fucking everything up, Riff.
Yep, that's what I do. So, we're recording on a Saturday today. It's a big day. It's shitty weather, but you know what? We're the day after.
Tomorrow's the big day.
Tomorrow's the big day.
If you believe in Christ, if you accepted Christ your personal Lord and Savior.
If you're a true Detroiter, though, Christ came early last year in the form of Steve Eiserman taking his throne and Detroit lineage.
I thought you were going to talk about the star of our movie because he killed for our sins.
This is true. Show is a big deal, but Stevie Y coming back is also pretty
cool.
fucking huge.
Yeah. I think who hates Steve Eiserman?
I don't know. All I remember is President Bill Clinton mispronouncing Steve Eiserman's name when he awarded him some kind of Medal of Honor or something. He was like, Steve Yeiserman. Come on, Bill. Come on.
He's too busy getting his dick sucked.
That's when I said, this is my president. I was 7.
You were just so offended.
Offended.
And that's why you're so happy that Trump, the most godly man who's ever been in the office, is our president.
He does not botch a single word, and I love that about him. He doesn't fuck up a name, nothing. Love it. But, yeah, we got Stevie Y coming back. We've got good weather on the horizon. I'm leaving town, so everyone's going to celebrate.
Not only is the captain of all our hockey hearts back, Griff, but Sho Kosugi's back after a long break on this show, even though we love Sho.
It always feels like a long break. We could do a show week back-to-back, and it would still feel like Sho's been missing.
Yeah, it's been so long. Like, we talked about the first movie in the unofficial golan-globus Ninja Trilogy, Enter the Ninja. That's like a third or fourth movie.
Yeah, that's...
We're 52.
Guys, this is
1 year, people. We've been doing this. Not only are we celebrating our 1 year anniversary today, we're also celebrating just this afternoon. We got over 400 followers on the Twitter.
Fucking amazing.
How's yours
hey,
going? How's your Instagram
numbers
doing?
are just like
a relative.
If we're talking bazooka gum, there's plenty of it.
I don't know what that means, but what's your Instagram? How's that going?
It's going great. I just told you. If it's bazooka gum, it's doing good.
I still don't know what that means.
There's a lot of comics, let's say.
You know what? I want to, because Griff's too modest, I want to go to bat for him. He's putting out ninja magic on his Instagram, and it's going virtually ignored, and I'm not having that.
People always show up when I put up the chain link vests or tank tops. They always show up for that.
Yeah, we were just talking about this. I have the same frustration where people will just post we always try to first of all find a funny picture, an interesting picture, and then also comment with a funny line or two. And we get annoyed when we see people say somebody they were doing their version of Revenge of the Ninja. They just put the movie poster up.
Yeah.
And then it's like 5,000 likes. And we're like, what the fuck?
we definitely try to get more in depth. When I watch the movie, I scour through it for this episode. You won't know this until afterwards, but I scoured through it. I found our young gang we're talking about, our old gang we'll talk about. Guy getting ninja stars.
I think this is going to be your week, Griff, because there's so many iconic moments in this movie.
I hope people are excited. And based on what you've been saying on Twitter, people love ninjas. Who would have known?
They fucking are losing their shit over ninjas.
I'm ready.
And I love it.
I'm ready for the Ninja Week.
So, let's get into this movie. Sho Kosugi. We're going to do a little background on the movie before we get into the movie. So, this was, like we said, this is the second of the golan-globus ninja trilogy. They finally woke up and said, why do we have Franco Nero playing a ninja when we have a real-life ninja in this movie? Sho, take over.
It was a good transition. I love Franco Nero, but man, when you got Sho on the fucking wings here, no, he's got a pilot.
You have a real ninja.
Exactly.
Franco was a fake ninja.
Exactly. Franco.
Nothing against Franco Nero. He just didn't fit that movie.
I would have loved if Franco were Dave in this movie and had a bigger role, but no. Sho needs to lead this movie.
So I learned, I went in depth with I got the facts on this movie. So Sam Furstenberg, who was the director of this movie, this was his first ever action movie. And it's hard to believe because it's so fucking amazing
with
the action. And you know why, Griff? Because he was smart enough to know, okay, I've never done this before. Maybe I should let the people who know what the fuck they're doing take over.
Oh, that's weird.
So he let Steve Lambert, who was a stunt coordinator, who plays a very important role later in this movie, and Sho take over. He's like, you guys handle the action. I'll do the acting and that kind of shit and lighting and all that bullshit. But I trust you guys to do it. And that's the smartest thing the guy ever did because the action is off the hook in this movie.
I agree. These movies, they're all about the action. I fucking love that we don't have that problem of too many quick cuts or anything. The camera is just, it takes like 3 different views during a fight. And it's because, like, you get to a standstill at once, so you go to the next angle. It's fucking great.
But because you have guys who can actually do the shit, like they used to back in the day. Matt Damon doesn't know any fucking martial arts. You got to, like, mask it with all these quick cuts. And...
I don't know. Here's the thing. I always hear about how the people, like a Matt Damon, has to train for hours.
You hear that.
But... And I think it might actually be true, but then, they do all the fucking quick cuts, so it's like, okay, everyone's bullshitting me.
I don't even remember, because I haven't seen it. I saw it once when it came out. Matrix was pretty good with, like, letting them look like they were doing it, right? They didn't have a lot of quick cuts in Matrix, did they? Because I know Keanu trained for that movie.
I think the parts where they wanted you to see fighting, they let you see it. Like when Morpheus and... Keanu do the I know kung fu stuff, and I'm pretty sure all of that was pretty much like, here you go, you guys do your thing. It's coordinated, do the dance. The rest of it, I don't know.
Okay. So this movie cost $700,000 to make.
700,
which even back then is like nothing.
What year was this?
82, 83.
83, okay.
And made $13 million.
Man, I'm glad they weren't on Pacific Coast or wherever our last movie took place, because Shay might have got shot, because those young warriors are racist as fuck. Yeah,
well, I'm glad you brought that up, because it was set on the West Coast in L.A., but it was filmed, to save money, it was filmed in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Ooh, yeah, and it's pretty obvious. Like, it's beautiful backgrounds on a lot of these shots because you just see mountain ranges everywhere. And I was like, oh, man, I don't remember ever seeing this in a movie set in California.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. It does look odd, but isn't LA's like in a valley, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I thought maybe I was just...
But I know what you're talking about, though, but it's very barren looking. Like, LA's built up. The whole, like, valley to live in is like, filled up.
Yeah,
and this one's more barren like Utah would be.
But yeah, man, it beautiful backgrounds. A lot of good shots in this. Director, first time, killed it.
Did. And, let's see, another thing. Sho designed all the weapons for this movie.
A lot of interesting stuff in here.
Crazy as shit.
If you thought Macaulay Culkin came up with some cool inventions in Home Alone, wait till you see Sho.
I heard that from Macaulay Culkin, this movie inspired a lot of what went on in Home Alone.
You're blowing minds here, man.
And Joe Pesci was inspired by a performance in our movie too.
Yeah, he actually asked if his name in the movie, instead of being Harry or whatever it was, could be Cafano.
Yeah.
We're dropping real facts on y'all. And
so, like, in preparation, because we love Sho Kosugi, so I want to be on top. And we know this is an important episode. I watched an interview with Sho. I got to know what Sho is about.
Yeah.
Originally, Griff, he had zero interest in martial arts. When his parents made him be a martial artist.
Okay.
So, because he was a very weak, frail child. Oof. And so, instead of having compassion, it's like his mom and dad, you must toughen up. And so they made him to cry. He hated it. And then his mom said, look, if you go to class, I'll give you some candy. And he's like, I'm into it. And eventually, over time, like every action movie, like fucking Danielson, he hated doing wash on, wash off and all that shit until he started getting the skills.
Yeah.
And then he was like fucking awesome. But still, he was like, okay, Sho's a very practical man. And he's like, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm a ninja now. What the fuck does that mean? Like, I wasted my life. So he wanted to be a baseball player.
Yeah.
But he wasn't good enough.
Like baseball is a tough sport to crack. Randy Paffa will tell you.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell will tell you.
Yeah, Kurt Russell gave up baseball for the movies. The movies are easier. And they probably are. I mean, there's only so many spots in the major leagues.
Exactly.
And, so he couldn't do that. And he also couldn't pass his test to get into college.
Oh no.
Well, I'm sure that it's not in Japan. I'm sure the criteria is a lot higher than ours. Ours you have a millionaire parent and you can get whatever you want.
Right.
So his sister's like, look, you're gonna die here of homelessness. So I'm gonna give you some money. I want you to go to America where any retard can get into college. So he went there, got into college, got into a few. He got offers for a few. And he started, so to make money, he started training because he knows ninjutsu or, whatever the fuck he knows. And he started training people like a school like Bruce Lee had and Chuck Norris had.
Sure.
And he decided he wanted to get into movies because he's in California. So Sho Kosugi was an overnight success 8 years in the running because he was an extra for 8 fucking years before he got that role in Enter the Ninja. And the only reason he got the Enter the Ninja role was because his friend, who was originally going to play the Franco Nero role, said, hey, I'm doing this movie. We need a Japanese guy to play the main villain. Do you want it? And he's like, fuck yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And so they went to the Philippines to film it. And day one, his friend gets fired. Because he was just swinging his dick around. He's like, you can't do anything. I'm the star of this movie. And they're like, yeah, we can fire you. Franco, come in. And so...
what are you going to do? Hire a Italian man named Franco to star in a ninja movie?
That's exactly what they did,
That's
Griff.
what they did.
And so, fortunately, they saw what fucking Sho had to offer, and they were like... So they filmed Enter the Ninja. He was the villain. And then they were like, this guy's a star. What the fuck are we fucking around with? Let's have him be the star of the next ninja movie. Even though none of there's 3 canon ninja movies, none of them have anything in common but Sho Kosugi.
Yeah, they number it as if they're sequential. There's Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja.
Well, they don't even do that because
Ninja
it's like
3,
Ninja 3, but there's no Ninja 2.
Yeah, but it's like their only catalog of ninja. So people are like, "Oh, okay, it's the Ninja Trilogy." No.
What? No. Yeah, it's the canon Ninja Trilogy. That's the only. Did they ever? Oh, they made American Ninja. Of course.
Yeah.
This was. So it was funny. So Sam Furstenberg was the director. This was his first action movie. He went on to direct Ninja 3 Domination.
Okay.
He went on to direct the first 2 American Ninja movies.
Smart.
He went on to direct another Dudikoff movie that we're going to be covering in a couple weeks, which we're going to tease you with that. And, of course, he went on to direct Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's exactly where I saw that train going.
Well, he kind of put it this way. He's like, well, what is an action movie? Half acting, half action. What is a dance movie? Half action, half acting.
That's brilliant.
So he just put it together, and he made that brilliant Electric Boogaloo.
I don't know if John Claude's in the first or the second movie, but John Claude does make a...
So is Ice-T.
Oh, another
classic from canon. Yeah, so then Sho was smart enough he was worried. He's like, fuck, this is my first starring role. I know I can bring the guys in, the men who want to see me kick some ass, but I need to get the kids and the ladies in. My son, Kane. He'll bring the kids in. He's so fucking adorable. Shane, piece of shit. But Kane, people love that kid. And so he's like, look, I want my kid in this movie. Menachem going, fuck you, no! And he's like, wait, just let me show you what his skills. I've been stretching this kid's fucking... I made this kid doing... When he was newborn, I made him do the splits.
Oh.
And they said, I'm not even exaggerating, he's the stunt coordinator, so that's pretty close. He was like, I've been stretching this kid out for like a year, when he was a year old.
That's pretty close.
And so... Shane, he was like 5 or 6 when they filmed this movie. He'd already won like 200 tournaments, like in everything. He was in Taekwondo, Judo, Karate.
Well, when you're competing against other 6-year-olds, there can't be much talent there, man. Look, it's impressive, but...
Shane couldn't do it, that's all I'm going to say.
Well, Shane's got a soft heart.
He was... Soft head. So... He was pretty impressive he was a little sloppy in the movie, but for a 6-year-old, it was pretty impressive. I couldn't do it with what Kane did in this movie.
Well, no.
So stop fucking shitting on him. So then he's like, let me show you. He blew fucking Menachem's mind. He's like, holy fuck! Why do I need you? Let's make a movie about this. I have this idea. does he have 2 brothers? 3 ninjas. And that's how the idea for 3 ninjas started, Griff. They couldn't do it because he's like, I'm not going to disrespect my father.
Okay.
So, this is how it began. This is the birth of the greatest ninja actor of all time.
Shane?
What? No. No. I said greatest.
Oh, okay. So you must
Was
mean...
Shane ever a ninja in anything?
I don't think so.
I don't think Kane was. That would have been so sweet if Kane, busted out a ninja costume.
Would have been great.
But it didn't happen, guys. Well, I guess he plays a ninja now as an adult. But because he went on, of course, to be a huge star in Japan, and Shane is a janitor. I don't know. We were just saying, Shane is the Clint Howard to Kane's Ron Howard. Because, Kane's got it all.
I love that analogy. Only problem with it is I think we both love Clint Howard.
Yeah.
We both love Ron Howard. And you don't respect Shane at all. So that's where it falls off.
Sho doesn't respect Shane.
This is a good point.
I mean, and by the way, I want to apologize because I promised people that Shane wasn't in this movie. I forgot he's in the beginning, but he gets killed almost instantly.
He gets his comeuppance right away,
and that was probably the greatest role he's
I'm
ever
sure
played.
you believed it was his comeuppance for just being not Kane.
that actually, they said that scene got cut out, the original cut, because you can't show kids getting killed in movies.
I thought it was weird. It's I don't know if you should have such a graphic scene of a child getting murdered, but they did it. Golan-globus, man.
The first.
I'm glad this survived because you were saying that this movie was intended to be long.
Well, no, it was long. There's a half-hour of footage on the chopping room floor.
Woo.
This was a 2-hour movie. Damn. And then Menachem, the genius that he is fuck that, 90 minutes, because that was their rule.
Would you say it's the perfect length for this movie?
It is.
It really is.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, even the Furstenberger who did it, he could only scene he remembered was there was a scene where Braden chopped somebody's head off.
Yeah.
So that was probably the only thing I'd want to see that wasn't in this movie. The rest is probably bullshit, like character development. Who wants to see
the one
that?
scene that I read about that I was like, wait, did I see it or didn't I see it? Because I thought it was supposed to be when the one guy gets his hand cut off in the stairwell.
Yeah.
But they said there was a visible tube spraying blood.
No, that was the very end.
Was it?
Yeah.
Man, I'm so bad at watching these.
Yeah, that was well, spoiler alert, that was Braden's death scene.
Oh.
But so there it is, people. That's the birth of in my opinion, the greatest ninja movie. This might even be my favorite Golan-globus movie. I fucking love this movie.
No, I would put this over, from what I know, I'd put this over most. Especially for action.
Yeah. So, people, let's without further ado, let's get to it, Griff. Let's give people what they want. Let's give the people Sho Kosugi in Revenge of the Ninja.
The Ninja. Born of a 400-year-old tradition. Trained in the most exquisite subtleties of combat. The ninja must be as wise as he is all-powerful. For if ever a ninja gives himself over to the dark side of his art, the destruction is terrifying and absolute. Revenge of the Ninja, starring martial arts master Sho Kosugi and his son Kane Kosugi, 6-year-old world karate champion. When he came to America, he put aside his weapons.
I will not follow the way of the ninja.
But he could not put aside his destiny as a warrior. And now, destiny has come searching for him. Two warriors. One in the service of evil. One bound by honor and vengeance must fight to the death. Because only a ninja can kill a ninja. Revenge of the Ninja. The great martial arts explosion of the 80s comes to America with full force.
All right, Murray, let's get this show on the road.
Hey!
Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a moment for the audience to realize what I just did there. And the moment's gone. So, here's the thing. We've been doing these ninja movies. We've done like 5 of them now.
Yeah, something like that.
And we're constantly bringing up the 9 powers of the ninja.
Right.
And I was trying to like show off to you how much I know about them. I got 8 of the 9 wrong.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, as you know, ever since I've been a member of the Nangchen Hair Club for Men,
yes,
I have the magnificent ponytail like my sensei, Steven Seagal. Most people like Sho, I'm assuming, you have to earn it. You have to. Me, I was magically imbued with the 9 powers because of my Nangchen tail. So I am very intimately involved with the 9 powers of the ninja, and I want to explain them to you very quickly. And while I'm doing it, of course, I'm going to do the hand symbols while I'm doing it. So,
I'm excited for this.
9 powers of the ninja, Griff. Number 1, Rin, which is the strength of mind and body.
Oh, yeah. You got that to spare, right?
Let's see. This is how you do it.
Oh, man. Don't even know how you do that with your hands.
You didn't think I could bend my finger that way, did you?
I like that you make it seem like it's a struggle for you, for the audience.
Yes, I know. Number 2, Payo, direction of energy. I'm not sure what that means, but I know it. I have that power.
It's like billiards.
Okay. Number 3, Do, harmony with the universe, which, of course, I am harmonious with the universe.
You got dirt in your pocket right now.
Yes. Number 4, Sha, healing of self and other. This movie actually shows a little Sha in it.
Does.
Well, it doesn't show it, but it happens in it.
I mean, every day you come over and Millie scratches you in the face, and you kind
she
of
gotta work on her.
Your eyes roll back, and next thing you know, the cut's gone.
And there's like a gong sound effect.
There is.
Number 5, Kai, premonition of danger. That's you think I would tap in when Millie scratches my face. I would tap into the 5th power.
Well, you know,
so
it's
she wouldn't
not
scratch
real
me.
danger. It's her emotions running wild.
She's just so happy to see me.
She really is.
Number 6, Jin, knowing the thoughts of others.
You know, whenever I drink gin, I think I know the power of others. Thoughts?
I knew you were going to say that.
God damn it.
Number 7, Retsu, mastery of time and space. Whoa, when we're ninjas, we get metaphysical. Fuck Thanos, dude. I'm the master of time and space.
Plus, he's only got 6 gems. You got 9 powers.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
Fuck you, Thanos.
Last time I checked, that's 3 more.
Right. Number 8, Zai, control the elements of nature. You notice when I got here, the rain stopped.
It finally did. That's
was
beautiful.
That was me.
Yeah. Could you get the water that's like the lake out in front of my house?
No, I couldn't. You notice I levitated across it.
That's what. Okay.
No, and number 9, Zen, enlightenment, Griff.
Zen. That's Xen. For those that aren't enlightened.
And this is how you do it.
Oh man, look at that. It's
I know,
impressive.
it is. So there you are, people. Now you really know the 9 powers of the ninja that we are always referencing.
But now it's time to go back to the shadows. Past. Well, I guess it's the present. It's whatever time you want to believe.
No, it's the past because this the main movie takes place 6 years later.
6 years?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, good call. It is 6 years. But we got to see Baby Sho. Not Baby Sho.
Baby
but
Kane.
He's like 33, let's say. He's got 2 kids. Beautiful wife. We're assuming because Sho's not in this scene yet.
Well, of course, because this would be 1977. Everybody in Japan still wore kimonos and like those samurai outfits and lived in the houses with the paper.
I mean, they're
walls.
on like a farm. They're in the middle of nowhere. They're in Kid Rock country.
They're in like a bamboo forest.
Yeah.
And they're just living their life, loving it. Unfortunately, we had to see Shane.
Yeah.
And we see, all of a sudden, all in the foliage, we see ninjas popping up.
Do you think they should have been wearing black for the foliage and for the daytime attack?
Well, black you can blend into the shadows. But I don't think you should have bright red headbands.
No? Okay. That's where they went wrong.
That was that's their gang color. You know, they have to show, they gotta represent.
And so you see between, there's ninjas just popping up everywhere, and they're looking at each other, they're doing some hand signals. We don't know what they fucking mean.
Well, I do. But yeah, they're doing hand signals. And then there's like, why are we hiding? These are elderly people. Let's just kill them.
Yeah, it's just elderly people, kids, and women.
So they pop out of the shadows, and Grandpa is like, I ain't having this shit.
Yeah.
And he immediately gets stomped and stabbed. They all stab in the same spot, like 6 samurai swords right in the same spot of the back.
Yeah.
And they just go to town on the fucking family.
They are just taking out everybody. And you see the baby, and you're like, oh my God, that baby's clearly got to live.
Well, yeah, and then so Sho's wife is like, fuck Shane. I have to care about the real, true heir of the family. So she runs away with the baby and hides it. Because she's like, this is the future of the Kosugi family. And she leaves Shane behind. Shane immediately gets a ninja star the middle of his forehead.
Oh, my God.
The best acting Shane's ever done.
Oh, no.
And he just collapses. And then they kill Grandma. And unfortunately, other Grandma shows, because we'll learn that Sho's grandmother is a ninja, too.
Yes.
So did not capture. She was gone.
Yeah.
And they're just laying waste. And then for some reason, I guess she got a little like guilty that she left Shane. His wife comes back.
Yeah, she comes back. She hid the good son. Now she's like, okay, I still care about it.
Yeah.
I don't remember its name,
yeah.
but
I carried it for 9 months,
Yeah.
so I have some attachment to it.
Yeah, I guess I can carry it one more time.
And that was her downfall because she gets an arrow right to the heart.
Right to the heart. Shot through the heart.
So the family annihilated.
I'm sorry. Shot through the heart, and Shane's to blame. You gave my ninja heart. Fuck it. I should have stopped.
Yeah, you were on a roll, and then you fucking
Damn
blew
it.
So while that's going on, we see our man Sho. He's got the fucking samurai outfit on, not the armor, but like
he's
the
wearing
giant
his
pants.
he's wearing a very business ready samurai outfit.
The hammer pants on,
Yeah.
the Janko jeans, if they're called.
He's walking around with a guy who stole my jacket from me. It's Braden in his nice, thick corduroy jacket, which I'm always wearing my corduroy.
I didn't even notice that. You got an eye for corduroy. And they're discussing a business operation, and Braden's like, look, Sho, you're the greatest doll maker in Japan.
Yeah.
You could make millions in America with your dolls. Why are you wasting your life here? And then Sho's like, look, this is the land of my people. We have protected this land.
His family's been living here
forever.
For generations. Yeah,
we've been. He's like, but Sho, ninjas are constantly killing your family members. Why don't you leave? Tradition.
Been here. You've been attacked by 3 ninjas.
And he's like, it's tradition. I will not leave. My father was killed by a ninja. My grandfather was killed by a ninja. I will be killed by a ninja eventually. It's the tradition. Because, Japanese people are about tradition. And he's like, fine. All right. And then they come up to the house. Everybody's dead.
Yeah, the ninjas had scattered at this point. So they're
back to the shadows.
They went back to the shadows because they want to see this next formidable opponent.
Well, they
up.
know what Sho's about.
I mean, they're ninjas. Ninjas are pieces of shit. So Sho walks up,
Not
sees
all
all
ninjas
his
are
family
evil.
dead, goes up, sees that Shane's dead. He's like, well, okay, where's Kane?
Yeah, he was. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
He just walked past Shane, ran to his wife.
Yes.
He was like, he tripped over. She's like, what the fuck? Oh, it's Shane. Kicked him into the fucking water. That was
The little pond there.
No, he did pull out the star out of his head. He was like, oh, I could use this. And then he kicks him into the water. And then he runs to his wife. He's like, Yoshi, no. And that's when the ninjas attack.
It's a fucking onslaught. And they're not quite like the normal fights we see where it's like 1 at a time. They're like coming at them 3 at a time.
Well, first thing that happens is they shoot arrows. Fucking Sho. Right hand catches an arrow. Left hand catches an arrow. Teeth catches an arrow.
What the fuck?
And they're like, oh, snap.
What power of the ninja did he use to do all that?
That was the, I'm going to say the first one, strength of mind and body.
The first one.
Or no, okay, how about this? Retsu, mastery of time and space.
There you go.
He slowed down time to catch those arrows.
Definitely.
And So him and his buddy Braden whips out a gun. Or I don't know what the fuck.
He busts out a gun and just starts like
because he's the guy Jen. He's a fucking white man, round eye.
He's down a fucking like little sidewalk basically, and they just keep running down the sidewalk. So he's just like shoot.
It's like Duck Hunt.
No big deal.
Duck Hunt was harder. And Sho he's putting on a show because he whips out his samurai sword and goes to town on him. He's fighting a guy in like a bamboo forest.
Ninjas, you're gonna call it a fucking samurai sword? We taught you this last time.
Oh, sorry. Katana.
It wasn't a katana.
What was it?
It's just a little sword. It's a little short sword. Ninjas use short swords.
Okay, what the fuck? All right. We get so outraged by that.
Well, your fucking name Shen kind of fucks your head up sometimes.
I don't need to use weapons. I am a weapon. I don't need that shit.
That's
so we get fucking Sho farts out a smoke pellet and does a flip. Did you notice that? He does a flip and a smoke pellet flies out. And he's doing flips and cutting motherfuckers and it's killing everybody. It's fucking amazing. And then I don't even remember what happens after that.
Dude,
he just kills everybody.
Yeah, I mean, they're laying waste to people. And again, like I said, these fights are really cool because it isn't too much of like the 1v1 where everyone just surrounds him and then one person. It's like 6 people attacking at once and they're like figuring out ways where he ducks under, slide steps the other. It's cool. It's fucking cool action scenes.
He's doing fucking cartwheels and backflips and all this shit.
As we expected, they take everything out. There's like the back-to-back moment where they're backing up and Braden and Sho run into each other and they're like ready to fight, but it's like, oh, it's just Braden. It's just Sho.
And then Grandma shows up.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What happened? Who is that?" "Oh, that's Shane." And she's like, "What the fuck?" And then Braden's like, "Well, I guess you don't have a family now to worry about. You need to come to America. You're not going to survive here."
Yeah, it's clear.
You have this golden child here because while this was going on, Sho finds the child hidden, much like Moses when he was in the water and shit.
Yep.
And
bring it all back to religion.
It's Easter time, buddy.
Man.
And he's gonna be the savior. And so she starts thinking it over. He's like, "Yeah, maybe you're right, Grandma. She's smart. She's just like, don't trust that round eye."
Yeah.
And then I love it. They do a close up of his round eyes, like this zoom lens on his and he's like, "There's something up with this Braden guy."
Yeah. I love that there's a moment where Sho, he's like, "I taught my son never to trust anybody." And yet, here's Sho trusting fucking this piece of shit.
Well, we don't know. He could have probably known Braden for years. Braden could have saved his life at one time. They don't. Maybe that was in the half hour they got cut off. There was more backstory about their relationship. So he's like, "Okay, yeah." Grandma still doesn't trust him. She's like, "You are this." She whips out this medallion where it's like, what kind of bird was that?
I have no idea.
Looked like a seagull on the
hummingbird.
And he's like, "This is what we're about." And he's like, "Look, Mom, we got to get the fuck out of here." So we're going to coming to America.
A nice ninja font appears on the screen. 6 years later, we drop the camera, and as we drop down, we see Kane just walking with his grandma. His grandma, of course, in a nice kimono because she will not wear anything other than traditional Japanese attire.
And Kane's got his sick satin LA Dodger jacket on.
Okay, that was wonderful. They had that kid matched up. He had the Dodgers hat, the
fucking trucker cap hat. Yeah. He was like way ahead of his time.
And then he had like the blue Asics on. I'm like, man, how much money is this family making? Because that's an expensive outfit.
Right.
And he's
probably why these people were jealous.
I think so. We're walking by. We're seeing like the 13-year-old thugs. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I got a nice Instagram out there, so go look for it.
It's like the evil Goonies.
It is the young version of like every golan-globus thug group.
Right.
So,
multicultural, multiracial.
Exactly.
One of the kids has a stray cat satin jacket on. A lot of satin jackets in this movie.
Stray cats.
He did.
So they're, of course, just like, "Hey, this kid likes the fucking Dodgers. Hey, we're Angels fans in this part of town."
And then, of course, true to like a true son of Sho Kosugi, Kane's totally respectful.
Like, yeah.
Could you please move out of my way?
Again, we talked about this. Kane's only line other than no and hiya.
Well, he has a great line at the end, which we'll get to.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, and Chris like, "Fuck you, Dodger fan." They take their baseball seriously in LA.
They really do. I mean, this is '83.
Yeah. Kirk Gibson was like a few years away from hitting that home run.
Ooh, that donger.
And so Kane's like, "All right, I guess I have to murder you."
Yeah.
And he just goes on blitzkrieg's these motherfuckers. He's just kicking him in the fucking face. These kids are like twice his size.
Yeah, I mean, he's no show, so Kane is like, they're walking at him one at a time, and he's like flipping them. I like all the maneuvers he's using because it's like using their weight against them type of shit.
Well,
It's not him just like punching him in the jaw, Little Mac style, and they're flopping over. But there is the one great maneuver that the thugs try to pull, where the one kid had a bike, and he like jumped off it, but then they're like, get on your bike. So he gets on his bike, and then the other guy helps him get more momentum and like pushes him.
And he pushes him right into a roundhouse kick from Kane.
He gets one pedal into his momentum. Oh boy, that's 2 weeks in a row. I spilled my drink. Gets one pedal into his momentum before he gets a fucking kick to the gut, falls off his bike.
And then I love, this is how detailed this movie is. We're shown, not learn, that Kane also, he's a ninja too, because he uses some dirty tricks. He grabs some mulch, hurls it in their eyes, and then kicks them in the balls.
I mean, this is
He'll fight dirty if he has to.
This is so appropriate.
He'll fight ninja.
This is the ninja way to fight. I love it. I love everything about it.
And Grandma's in the background. Yes.
Yeah, Grandma's loving it.
And then he's just about, he grabs a kid by the hair. He's just about to give the death blow to this fucking kid. And then, his hand just grabs his fucking fist.
Did you notice the kid he was about to kill was a young fucking Frank or whatever his name was from Young Warriors?
I did not know.
We were almost
Kevin
rid
or
of Kevin.
Scott?
Yeah, we were almost rid of Kevin.
Oh,
we almost didn't get his I think that's what turned his life around. He went into animation.
That's probably what made him insane.
It might have.
And if only fucking Kane was around when poor Tiff was coming home from the prom.
Yeah, if only.
And if only they weren't racist. If she was dating Kane instead of Roger, he would have had that shit. He's like, I'll take care of these bikers. So I don't know why we're talking about last week's episode. So Sho like stops and is like, what did I tell you? You'll never use your ninja powers.
It's fucking people twice his age. But
I want to point out, Sho is also dubbed in this movie really badly.
Yeah.
And so, because I guess he had a really thick Japanese accent at the time, even though he'd been in America for at least 10 years. So, they go home. And we get a scene where he's...
Yeah, Grandma the only thing I take from that is Grandma tells Sho, like, no, you got to teach this kid the way of the ninja.
Right, but never use it.
Never use it.
That's the way these movies are built on. You must know this like knowledge, but never use it.
Yeah.
So we're in the dojo. We got the fucking samurai outfits on again. The big fucking Janko jeans.
Get the swords out.
And he's like, fucking Kane's doing his katas. He's like, ha, 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 doing all those moves. Fucking Sho, tear in his eyes. It's like, this kid's amazing. He's
beautiful.
Just like, and Kathy comes in, who's a student of Sho. She's watching.
Just loving it.
She's got the half gi on. She's not wearing any pants. She's just got the gi top on. And, fucking Kane's he's just like, he stops, he goes, great Kane. And he shows him the sword, and we see that the sword is tied shut.
Yeah.
So you can't pull it out of the sheath.
I surrender this sword. I put it on hiatus until I need to murder again.
Well, no, he's like, I will never use this sword again.
I will never use it. I know I will use it again. I'll never use it again.
The way
he winked at his son when he said, I'll never use it again.
I will never go the way of the ninja. Neither should you. You should know all this shit, but never use it.
Never use it.
And he's like, that's great, Dad. I'm going to go hit the showers. So while that's going on, Kathy shows up. Kathy, she's just fucking into it. She's like, oh, my God, this guy, he's a badass. He's a great father. I want to fuck
hair
this
helmet
guy.
on his head.
He's got amazing hair.
It's beautiful.
So she's like, hey, you want to roll around a little?
Yeah, let's tussle.
And Sho's like, don't you want to wear pants first? I don't think so. You know what that means, people. I don't know, but I think.
Well, what it means is that they're gonna fucking. I mean, they start sparring.
Well, she's like, I'm wearing pants. I'm wearing ugly pantyhose.
Yeah.
Ugh. And so they start fighting, and like, she's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because she's been working for. It took 6 years in the making to get this fucking art gallery with ninja dolls set up. So she's been working with them for free. She's just getting some ninja lessons.
Yeah.
And this is how great a person Kathy is.
She just did it on the side, man.
She's just like, I just love what you're doing.
I mean, she put so much of her own fortune at stake here, she can't even afford pants anymore.
Right. And so they're tussling. We're seeing that not only is he a great father, a great person, he's a great teacher. Because Kathy is holding her own for a while. And then Shane's...
Well, Sho is just that good of a teacher. He knows how to play down to everybody's level. He's right. He's that fucking good, man. He's so good.
He builds them up.
Again, more good stunt work.
Right. I mean, and this woman had never done martial arts at all.
Really?
No, never.
And there is no stunt double. This is the woman.
They just taught her, like, look, they're like, Sho taught, literally, behind the scenes, taught her. He's like, it's treated like a dance, like we're doing these moves. And she holds her own. She does pretty good.
That's essentially what it is.
And then, of course, the master has to show he's the master. So he pins her down. And like, good one. She's like, are you ready to fuck me? He's like,
yeah. She, while they're pinned down, she she kind of tilts her head a little bit, and she puts on this face that says like, hey, I got one other thing that needs tackling. Got nothing here. So we're gonna get a nice hard break from there.
We go right to the storefront,
and we've heard about these dolls. We haven't seen them yet.
Griff, the layout is immaculately tacky. God! There's neon signs everywhere.
It's the neon signs, and that it reminds me of any kind of suburban we want to be like.
In '83, this was the height of class. It's just.
Oh man.
It's like, it's awful. And so the room's totally dark, and there's these spotlights on these little like platforms where they have their dolls, and they're in glass cases. And Braden shows up because he's financing it, and he's like, he comes with like I think I'm gonna assume she was a prostitute because she was wearing a really tacky like rabbit fur coat.
Yeah,
and
she notices the one doll, and she like touches it, and
well, he's like, first of all, he's like, Cho. He stretched. His character's name is Cho.
Yeah.
So he's really stretching as an actor.
Really?
Kane still has to be Kane. And he's like, this is immaculate. I can't believe it took you 6 years to do this. This looks like 20 years to do this.
Oh.
It's so amazing. The neon everywhere. It's
everything. The purples, the pinks, the blues.
And Sho, he like blushes a little. He's just like,
that's the curse of Shane. Every time I want to go for Sho, I say Shane.
And I know it's heresy. And then, like you said, the prostitute, she's checking out this ninja doll. Most of them are geisha dolls.
Yeah.
And there's a sword, and he's like, nothing. She's like, I heard about these ninjas. They're scumbags.
She fucking touches the sword. It's sharp as shit.
Yeah, she cuts her finger on this little plastic sword.
And she's like, you little bastard ninja. All these ninjas are shits.
They're garbage. And then Sho, he's just knowing the knowing glance. He's like, not all ninjas are evil.
Yeah.
That is a lie. And then he explains, he fucking ninja-splains to her.
He gives us some ninja explanations.
And then she's just like, I'll put that away in my brain.
Yeah.
And then, what happens, Gruff?
Well, that's when we get, they kind of like cut away from this, and Kane's just kind of going through the studio. And I'm pretty sure Kane's being haunted by Shane's spirit right now, his dead brother, because he goes up to one of those fucking dolls, and he just knocks it over.
I think you're right, because when Kane's not kicking ass, he's basically a zombie. He's like catatonic.
Yeah, you notice him just staring off into a random direction, like his head is perfectly still, just staring into nothingness.
And he just knocks. He's like a fucking asshole cat. He just like knocks it off the table for no reason.
And the camera just points to his face, and you're just like, dead eye, just nothing. There's nothing really behind the face.
There's no expression.
And then Kathy comes to the room. She's just like, Kane, how could you do? I'm sorry, Mel. How could you do that? And Kane
he has no reaction.
No reaction. Reaction.
And we notice it pans down the camera, and we see there's a broken doll, and there's a white powder substance
everywhere.
I so badly want to put my pinky in it and rub it on my gum to see if it was coke.
I just wanted to gum it,
but it turns out it's heroin.
Yeah, I had to go back and correct the notes because I was like, oh, that's cocaine.
Yeah, well, it's coming from Asia, so it has to be heroin.
It's got to be fentanyl nowadays.
And so she's like, I think she thinks she traumatized Kane because he's not reacting at all.
Yeah.
And she's like, don't worry, I won't tell your father about this.
Well, she did slap him, so.
She did do that, but he deserved it. And she's like, she broke a fucking priceless doll. It takes months to make these dolls, as Sho told us earlier. Yes. And she's
Adrian
like,
Peterson.
I'll clean it up. You just go play. And he's just like, nothing. He just walks off like a zombie.
Yeah. So now we've got like this weird angle going on here. We need to figure out what is happening because we know there's some weird ninjas going on out there, but we don't really know who our villains are yet.
Well, now we do, Griff. Because Kathy makes a beeline for the telephone, and she calls Braden, and we learn that Grandma was always right. This fucking evil round eye. His plan was all along to import heroin inside these dolls and then sell it to fucking the Kevins of the world.
Good kudos to him because I don't know how the ninja doll we were talking about earlier. Sho is like, that doll is over 400 years old. So it's like, how did they get the heroin in there?
No.
Impressive.
He said ninjas are over 400 years old.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Okay. So, either way.
These aren't antiques, but they're just so exquisite. They take like 4 months to build one doll.
Sure. So Braden now knows that Kane saw the powdery dust, but fucking Kathy's trying to get him off the hook. Braden's not really having too
Kathy's
much of it.
learned, even though Kathy, we learned that she was implanted by Braden to kind of infiltrate the family, but then she's just come to love the family. And she's like, these are good people. So she's conflicted.
Yeah.
She wants to get paid, but she's still like, So
I like how you said that because Braden also wants to get paid. So he's going to head over to his contacts that he was working out like this heroin deal with.
Yeah.
He drives this beautiful, I'm going to call it a Trans Am. I don't remember what car he drove.
It was like a Cadillac.
Did you notice what fucking Sho drove?
Like a Camry Accord or something?
El Camino.
Did he?
Yeah.
I did not notice.
Yeah, he put his logo on and everything. Which do you remember what his logo looks like?
It was like a weird, like Star Wars emblem.
It looked like a saggy butt.
It was kind of.
That's all I could think about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was supposed to be like a stork or some shit.
I thought maybe it's supposed to be stork, but the shadowing they did, I was like, that's a butt.
Back to the shadows.
That's a butt. So you pointed this out. I want you to enlighten everybody as to what.
Not only does Braden have the most fly Cadillac. I almost for a second I thought it had wood paneling, but it was just the light shining off the side. So that is super fly. If he has wood paneling on the sides,
amazing.
But he's got a vanity places Sensei on it.
And I'm sorry to ruin this. Sho for the whole movie is like, Braden's a ninja. Guy got motherfucking Sensei on his license plate, dude.
Maybe in the 6 years that they've been setting up this amazing art gallery. That he taught, because he was like, look, dude, I almost got killed at your house. I had a gun. Can you teach me some ninja shit?
Maybe.
That's what I'm going to get. Because he's teaching Kathy.
So Braden, meeting with Cafano, he's his, of course, Italian mobster boss. Of course,
because they're the only criminals in America, or the mob.
And, he goes up to meet with everybody. He's, amongst the wolves.
Well, Cafano is, like, naked on a massage table.
Oh.
He's got a slice of pizza in one hand, a glass of wine in the other.
Cannoli waiting in the distance.
And he's getting...
Beautiful set. Again, good shot by the director.
And his main henchman is, like, massaging him for some reason.
He's got that thick mustache, scar in his mouth.
It's like an elderly man massaging him. It was really weird. And then they point out his... fucking super handsome nephew is always looking in the mirror.
There's 8 people gathered in this room
watching him getting massaged,
all standing in the same 10-foot perimeter watching the uncle get massaged, and the nephew he's grooming his hair. It's like
look at that paisano there. He thinks he's fucking Marlon Brando or something. What the fuck? Get out of here.
Yeah, Cafano at the moment, he's just like, my nephew, he just, he's got the matters of the dick in his heart.
And if I remember correctly, according to the director's commentary, that guy, the reason they hired him, because he was like in The Godfather, but he had like a small role. And he was Godfathering it up. He was chewing the scenery as well as that pizza.
And, I mean, we see more of this man than we've seen of most men in most movies.
Yeah, this is the first tit scene. But fortunately, it's an old, elderly Italian man. And he's like, hey, Braden, get over here. He's like, and Braden's like, Braden he had like a almost James Earl Jones voice. Like, the stunt coordinator who also did on the director's commentary thought, like, is that a dubbing? And the guy's like, no, that's his voice, because he had a very
velvety,
strong voice.
Rich.
Like, he's like, I need my money. Hey, we'll get you your money. Don't forget about it. Don't worry.
Yeah, take a cannoli home for now.
He's like, I gave you $100,000, and he's like, I need it all now.
The Japanese Yakuza are on my ass.
They do not mess around. You do not want to mess with these people. And of course, the mafia, they think they're the badasses, so like they gotta be like, oh, fuck them. They'll get it when they get it.
Yeah, you can go tell them to shove some dicks up their butts because they ain't getting it. You're not getting it now, so you can just make like an egg and beat her it.
And great.
I should have said a vegan egg and beat her it.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that means. But so Braden goes, I'm warning you. You must pay me. Fuck you. You're dead. He threatens him. He's like, he's like, hey, it's out of my hands. You're going to fucking die. Get me my money.
Cafano is just like, I'm watching HBO. You can take your
You
threats
ever heard of this
else.
Game of Thrones show? It's fucking amazing. He's like, hey, if you want a whore, you can go buy one. If you want your money, earn it.
Man.
So Braden fucks off. He's furious.
We immediately get a scene of Braden going home. He's pissed. He's punching his punching bag. He's got a Cafano face on it. He's like, Cafano, you motherfucker. And then he pulls open what we think is his sock drawer, but it's actually a ninja drawer.
And he whips out his Kinjitache case. Woo! Opens it up. Got this beautiful silver mask of like a Japanese demon, an oni is what they call them.
Yeah.
And he's got all his fucking tools of the trade. It looks like a doctor's, I think like old fashioned doctors would have. But it's a Kinjitache case.
I fucking love how this next 30 minutes sets up, because obviously Sho has put ninja lifestyle away, but I want to see a fucking ninja at work. A real
I do too.
shitty ninja at work. And
Right.
so Braden puts his kit together. He gets his gi on. It's a fucking 99-degree day in Utah. Man's wearing all black mask.
He's got a mask on a mask.
Mask on mask.
He's got the silver mask and the ninja mask over the silver
Dude,
mask.
I don't know how he doesn't fog up the fucking eye holes of that thing, but he manages not to.
So the first move he does, he gets the old guy with the mustache that was massaging.
Yeah.
He knows that is like his got to be Cafano's favorite guy.
Yeah,
So
more
his-
so than his nephew even.
So they're having a nice picnic, which was shocking me because we learned last week in '83
Yeah.
nobody did picnics anymore. It was all about the orgy.
Yeah, yes, good call. And of course, Cafano's main guy, his masseuse.
You think he'd be all up for an orgy.
He's drinking the fuck out of some beers, and everyone in his family's like, "Ben, you been crushing those beers." Like, yeah, but they run right through me, so I'm gonna go hit the bisser.
Gotta drain my old vein here.
Drain the main vein. So he hits that fucking cough, the fucking sports arena where they just do the
the
giant
trough.
bathtub trough.
Yeah,
That's the one.
And then once again, I don't know why there's another dog chained up in the bathroom. That's a running theme in all of our movies.
Why was there a jail cell in the bathroom, by the way? Did you notice that? Fucking A. There was a jail cell in there.
Because, as we learned from George Michaels, a lot of weird shit goes on in
Public bathrooms.
in the public bathrooms and at parks.
So Braden, of course, comes out in his whole ninja garb.
He's like standing on the toilet, like hiding.
Yeah.
And then he comes out,
Masseuse sees him and is just like, what the fuck is this, Halloween?
and he just fucking boom, just punches him in the chest like with a fucking ninja. I think taps into the fucking. He taps into the first power of the ninja, which is strength of body, because he just crushes the guy's rib cage.
Yeah,
and then he kicks him in the thigh.
It's definitely what happened because the masseuse says, "You just crushed my rib cage,"
and then he kicks him in the thigh, and he collects. Then he just lightly touches his head and snaps his fucking neck.
Oh.
And you think he'd be instantly dead, but the guy, I guess he wanted to have a great death scene, so he's like, like 5-minute death scene.
Ugh.
We get it, you're dead.
So Cafano he's hitting the streets again. I think he's going to meet with his contact, his nice hobo man. And he's brilliant. I love this guy. We're wearing the same pants, actually. I don't know if you noticed, the guy had like the nice
hobo pants,
fucking weird green color.
Yeah, it was kind of like he was
I
like
don't know what to call this
was.
green.
I would describe him as a homeless Snake Plissken because he's got an eye patch.
Yeah, he's got the eye patch. You can tell he's been through some shit. He's got scars, got an eye patch.
Probably Vietnam vet.
He's got a rope cinching his pants up.
Yeah, it's very. There's a lot of stereotypes in this movie. So yes, he's the most. He's got a little bindle on his stick. He's like the most stereotypical hobo. He's wearing. He's got like painted on stubble like a hobo clown. It's amazing. And he's like, "Hey, you didn't hear it from me, but I don't even remember what he's like. The Japanese are looking for you."
Well, he gets a little more racist than that. No. I don't know. I think Japs is pretty racist.
Now it is, but not in '83.
Okay,
was it?
But he's just like, them Japs are moving in on you, and he's like, the Japanese, really? And by the way, it's Japanese.
Like,
come on.
Hey, it's Japanese. Who the fuck are you? Some kind of Goomba?
Yeah.
And so he's just like, hey, you heard it from me. Pay the man. Guy pulls out a big wad, gives him a 20. Come on, he just gave this guy some fucking amazing information.
I love that henchman was like the Jim Cornette of henchmen. He had the giant glasses on, but the suit, he had the tennis racket over his shoulder. Loved it. So pays him. Guy counting his bills. You see that one eye just fucking
and it's just one bill. That's amazing how he counts it. He's just like constantly flipping through it.
And then you see that ninja cachete case again. Broad daylight, city, 1,000 folks everywhere. Shuriken is pulled out. Flink.
Shuriken right in the eye.
I don't know if I can post that on Instagram, but it might be up there.
Sure. Right, you
can't.
I know
sent you that picture.
You know what? You can't post it on fucking Facebook because those fucking assholes.
Yeah, they would definitely.
Yeah, that's why we don't have Facebook. So yeah, he hits him on the side of the eye. Do you notice? They didn't hit him in the eye.
Oh yeah, no, I showed you that picture.
He hit him, but he hit in the perfect spot, right in the brain.
I mean, as we learn later, Sho tells us,
there's only one way that's a good kill a man, right between the gate of the eye.
And he does a great fall into this outdoor.
It's a fountain.
Fountain, exactly. Yeah. It's a fountain. And you see the blood pooling. It's a beautiful shot. And Kefano, he's kind of freaked.
No one else, by the way, is freaked. This man is shrieking, I have a shuriken in my eye, I'm dying. No one gives a fuck, but Kefano is just like, that sounds like my contact. Goes back over, sees the blood. The fountain is filled with blood now. It's been 3 seconds.
Takes that 20 back.
Takes the 20 back, of course.
He ain't gonna need it.
They flip him over, see the shuriken, and he's just like, God damn, do you guys want to go to Benihana?
I'm hungry. I got a taste for some rice.
I want to get some of that crisp yellowtail in my mouth.
You know, they shoot the sake in your mouth. It's amazing. So now... You wondered why we brought up this fucking handsome as fuck nephew? Because it's his turn to die.
Yeah.
So we get a ninja eye view of this. A great fucking directing. This guy gets it, man. He's an action movie savant. This is his first fucking action movie.
We get the doors that open up to this nice fucking hot tub.
Super classy fucking room.
Classy.
We see a porno mag laid out right on the...
Oh, these guys have
on the glass table.
They have to be getting frisky if they've been looking at... was it a Playboy or was it a Hustler?
It was I was a Penthouse.
Oh, my God, they went Penthouse?
Yeah, it was Penthouse.
Oh, they're going to be boning for a while.
And we
see the nephew just fucking chugging right out of a champagne bottle.
I know, he's classy that. And they're in they're in they're not. It's not a hot tub. This is a giant bath. It's a bubble bath, and it was a bubble bath.
I thought it was a hot tub.
No, it was a bubble. It could have been a hot tub, but they had had bubbles in it.
If you say it's a bath, it's a bath. I mean, you could put bubbles in a fucking hot tub, but
I know. I said that just 5 seconds ago. And so, but it's blocked off. It's got like what are those things called? Like a changing room thing. You get like a
I don't know what those are called.
Yeah, but you get what we mean.
Blinders.
And we see the kinjitache case open up, and he whips out these giant needles in the old ninja blowgun, the old bamboo blowgun.
Oh my god!
He's going old school with the bamboo. And
there's no defense against that.
Cut back because we just saw Kafano's tits. We're seeing some real tits now.
Oh.
And he's making out with the floozies with, and we see that blind that we were talking about, and right in where the two pieces meet, we see the blow dart go through there. Fucking pretty boy Floyd gets the fucking giant ass sewing needle in the back of his neck. Oh. You can tell it's poisonous because he immediately has some like gray shit around the wound. It's
wow, I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
details, man.
And he just collapses on top of the woman, so she's like underwater. She's barely struggling. She's kind of into it, I guess, because she's not really struggling, even though this is a fight for her life. Yeah. Braden just rolls in, puts the knife at her throat, the sword at her throat, and just pushes her underwater. She's not even fighting at all.
No,
she's like, I know I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna let it happen.
I don't know what she's on, but it like people they have that.
I'm gonna say heroin.
They had that fight or flight feeling,
and she chose. Neither.
Yeah, exactly. She chose
the Shane way. Curl up in a ball and let the death come.
I was going to say nihilistic way, but no, Shane. She chose the Shane way to go. And so we lose two more main characters of this movie.
What's their
main characters? And do we get Kafano right away talking to the police?
Yes. So the police finally show up. Braden's kind enough to call it in.
Yeah.
And so the cops show up, and they're like, yeah, the Kafano, he's going to show up and identify this body.
Yeah. Kafano rolls in.
Got the fucking, like pinstripe suit, total, like the
beautiful,
most...
got a corsage on
it's
and
like
everything.
The cheesiest gangster outfit, like a zoot suit.
They reveal the bodies.
He's like, hey, where's that sexy-ass nephew of mine?
I think what they said was, do you want to see him? And he's like, what do I need to see him for? He's dead.
Like,
but they reveal it anyway.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to show you anyway, because they're stuck together in a sexual kind of way.
Great joke. Great joke.
Yeah, they're people. They're actually stuck together from fucking.
Yeah.
Even though they weren't fucking when the murder happened. Somehow his dick slipped into her when he landed on her.
Or Braden just has a sense of humor. It's just like, I'm going to fucking... Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go with that. That's a good story.
Braden really wants
and somehow they're stuck together. He's like, you couldn't get rid of separate these two with a crowbar.
I'm pretty sure Braden had his eye on like getting a CSI deal going on, a TV series, and he's like, hey, I showed up this murder scene once, and the guy's dick was in the woman's vagina. I think that's what was happening here. He's trying to come up with material for his writing career.
And he's like, you know something, Kafano. Tell us. We can protect you. I don't know nothing. I'm out of here. Ugh. So he just takes off.
The police chief, though, he's just like, man, I got to get some information about this.
Right.
And he happens to turn to one of his colleagues.
Yes. Dave Hatcher.
Who's
also a friend of Sho's, played by Sho.
And he starts explaining to him. He's just kind of like doing it now.
Well, first we get a nice little scene. We learn that, I don't know if he's a cop, right? Because I know he's training the cops in martial arts, but he's also a cop.
Yeah, I think you're going a step too far.
No, I'm not. Because we first see him, he's in his karate gi working out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. When he's training with Frank Nero. I'm pretty sure Frank Nero is in that scene.
Well, there were a lot of like balding guys with mustaches. And short shorts.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And then the captain goes, yeah, Dave, I need to talk to you for a minute.
The point Murray had to bring that up for is that David Hatcher knows his shit. He's pretty talented.
And this guy was actually a real martial artist in real life.
Oh, interesting.
And actually, I'm glad you brought this up because I have a funny story. Because David Hatcher, I don't know what his fucking real name is. I forget. It's like
Tom Hatcher.
It's something Vitale. And he was on this film. That's like it was his first film. And he went up to Sho one day. It's like, Sho, you're really not a ninja, right? You know you're not a ninja. And the Sho, fucking dead serious, is like, no, I am a ninja. Like Sho really believed he was a ninja.
Oh man!
And then I have this is the most Shane-like story. It fucking infuriates me. When this movie came out, Vitale and Sho would like sometimes go to viewings just to see how the audience is reacting to it.
Hang out in the back,
And then like a minute before the movie lets out, Sho would like run out to the what's the word I'm looking for? The lobby.
Mausoleum.
The lobby. And he would just stand up near the exit, and people walk out because he wanted people to be like, "Oh my God, it's Sho Kosugi." Nobody recognized Sho Kosugi. It was such a Shane fucking moment. Shane on you people for not recognizing Sho Kosugi.
Shane.
So I just wanted to kick Sho in the balls for a second. So
Chief meets with Dave.
Well, he's not Chief. He's just a homicide detective. Detective. And he's like, "Here, I got these X-rays. Where have you ever seen? Where have you ever seen someone?
Look at this bone here.
This is the biggest bone in the body, and it's broken like nothing
at a 90-degree angle." He was very specific about the 90-degree angle. He's like, Bob Vila. I was watching his show, and he taught me about 90-degree angles, right triangles, all that shit. Bob Vila's the best.
So he knows his angles, but he doesn't know his ninjas because he's like, "Do you know anybody who could do this?" And he's like, all I know is ninjas could do this. Nobody else could break bones like this.
Detective, only ninjas could do this.
And he's like, as luck would have it, I know a ninja. Let's go talk to him.
Oh, and that's when we get fucking David. He's now training with Sho.
Right.
They're just sparring it up. And again, different levels. Sho always knows how to show up for the level of his student.
But he always also knows how to kick ass at the end.
Well, obviously.
And he does it.
Yeah.
Fucking destroys Dave.
He needs to teach these guys like, hey, you're doing really good, but also I'm still way better than you.
Right. And he is.
Way better.
But Dave, he understands that, and he's just like, hey, I was just so happy to be talking to these cops. Can you come in? Like they think a ninja murder's happened.
He explains the broken bone, and Sho is just like,
that sounds very ninja-like.
If he had the beard that they grow, like the Fu Manchu, he would have been
Pai
stroking
Mei
it.
from Kill Bill.
But no, he was thinking, and he just puts a finger to his face and kind of.
But there is a gong sound effect.
Why the gongs, man?
I don't know.
I thought we were beyond that.
No, not in '83.
And
so, dude, this whole movie's about stereotypes.
It really is.
So Sho walks in. He shows up at the precinct.
Yeah.
And he's like breaking it down. He's like, "This is totally a ninja thing."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the fuck?" Of course, he scoffs at the idea of ninjas. This fucking asshole police detective. He's like, "That's ridiculous. Ninjas,
absolutely ridiculous.
What next? Santa Claus?"
And he's like, and next you're gonna tell me this is actually a lethal weapon? Throws like a ninja star at him, and Sho takes it, traces like one of the tips with his finger, and it's just like,
"You see, this is the perfect length. If you throw it between the gate of the eyes, you can murder a brain."
And he's like, "That's exactly what happened. I'm starting to come around on this ninja shit."
And then he fucking accidentally, I think he purposely did this to test Sho's resolve. He fucking, maybe not resolve, but reaction, knocks the mug over. Sho catches that motherfucker.
Cat-like reflexes.
Does not let a drop spill from the mug.
Somehow there's more coffee in it. I don't know how that happened.
It's amazing. He multiplied it. He's like Penn and Teller all in one.
He tapped into the eighth to control the elements of nature.
Wow. Hey, coffee does come from nature, so
yeah, it's water.
So he fucking he puts it back on the table, and he just kind of winks at him. And
then there's another gong. Crazy
gong.
And so now we cut back. Cafano, he's getting the message. He's scared shitless of what
he's
Braden's
got two of his main guys are dead now.
Yeah, and he's just like, "Hey there, tell them chaps to leave my family alone, or you're a dead man, Braden." Braden's like, "Whatever."
Yes, you can bring it, you bitch.
And then it's click, and then Cafano, he's like, "Fuck this Braden guy, I'm cutting him out. I want you guys to go to this art gallery place, and I want you to get all them dolls and fuck Braden, cut them out."
So, of course, we're talking about Sho's place, but before we go there, we finally get to see Cafano's two best guys.
Yes.
And really, it's about the one best guy, because if you're a Super Mario fan, as I like to describe these two, you know that Mario's number one and Luigi's somewhere distant.
Right.
9th, 10th place.
Right.
But Mario steps forward. And Mario is not so much Italian as he is full indigenous. You made fun of me the last time I said Native American, so he's a full indigenous human being.
Yeah, that's the safest
American?
way you can say it. I'm
Indigenous American?
I'm just going to say Indian because he's straight up Indian. He's like the most cliche. He's all right. Let's break it down for it. He's got
deer hide vest.
He got the buckskins on. He's got fucking buckskin knee-high moccasins on. He's got the fucking pigtailed hair.
Ooh.
And I think it was his name Chief too.
His name was Chief, and literally as he's walking out of the room,
I will say this: the guy was a legitimate Indian. Though.
He was, yeah. I love that they cast it.
All he needed was a war bonnet to make it more cliche.
Right. I love the casting. They just cast everybody. I love golan-globus for that. But as he's walking out, Cafano just goes, "Hey, Chief, scalp that bitch for me." Fucking love it. Fucking love it. So we get to see these guys. They get a band together in a van,
well,
van.
We cut back to Braden, right? Like, as he just got off the phone.
Okay.
And he goes to his man, his sumo henchman, who last time we saw him, he was in our much underrated episode for Running Man.
So underrated.
Deep Freeze. Professor Toru Tanaka.
I want to watch Running Man now.
And he's like, keep an eye on Kathy. You know what to do if she acts up. Wink. Because he knows, because he's tapping into the sixth power of the ninja, reading thoughts. And he knows that Kathy is feeling sympathy. It's not about money anymore. It's about fucking the love of a father and his son.
Yeah.
And he's like, watch her. And
she's been pretty weird since,
Yeah. She's becoming a human finally. And so we cut to take it over, girl.
So Chief shows up with his crew and their van, the van, Men with Van.
It's a Ninja Turtle van. It's one of those panel vans.
Oh my God, yeah. It's got all the gadgets. It's got the Captain America motorcycle.
Got the ladder on the back door.
Ladder on the back. When I had my full-size conversion van as a child, I didn't have it. My family had it. I loved it. I climbed that ladder night and day. Loved it.
That's adorable.
That's why I have huge thighs, because I just climbed that ladder all day.
Okay.
So they show up. They're stealing all the dolls. They're knocking everything over.
I know. They're being slobs.
They're being real dicks about it. It's like, yeah, you're here for the heroin. We get it. Just steal the fucking heroin and get out. No, but they fucking trash the place. They're like breaking the neon. It's like, neon looks expensive.
They're like upturning garbage cans and spreading paper everywhere.
Why?
They open up the shredder and to spread all the shredding.
They fucking brought a bunch of tilapia with them and put it in the microwave and fucking put it on for 10 minutes. Like, why? You're there. I almost had a second drink accident. Oh my God. So they're leaving. They're loading up the van. They're all loading up the van together. They all work together, which was great teamwork. I love seeing that.
They're all multicultural. They're all inclusive. They're all working together.
All of them. I love it. It's beautiful. It's like a goddamn song. But just as they're getting the last shipment out, Sho is just like, man, what is this fish smell? Why has my store been ransacked? Opens the back door to the shady alley where there's like everything bad happening. Highlanders are getting slayed. It's like everything bad is happening in this alley.
Crazy.
Sho walks out there and he's just like, "You did this!" And of course the crew's all there like, "Yeah, we are doing this."
That's what I love. He gets blindsided by a garbage bag full of empty pop cans.
It's not even Michigan where people keep those kind of things in one collective, instrument. And so he gets fucking hit with pop cans. By the way, empty pop cans.
So they're not going to hurt you at all.
No. And Sho sells it. He's like, "Oh, I've been paralyzed." But of course he gets back up. Right. And there's 8 versus 1.
Something like that. But Sho is amazing. He puts a guy in a neck scissor and snaps his neck.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Some guy bitches out and tries to run away. He runs up some steps. Sho grabs his ankles and drags him down. Hitting his face on the steps.
Good. The guy chipped his tooth. It just reminded me. I chipped my tooth the other night while sleeping.
What?
I fucking grinded on my one tooth. I've already had like $8,000 work done on this one tooth.
Is that tooth you fucked up?
Yeah, that tooth.
Oh, wow.
I just fucked it up Again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
So I have to call up my dentist now and try to get it filled in.
So everyone's getting the shit kicked out of it, but Chief's still in there getting the last crate.
Yeah, we're like, where is the Chief? He wasn't loading it. He was like playing lookout or something. Because,
because he was like up in a window.
Yeah, exactly. So we're like, oh man, Sho is just fucking owning everybody.
Did you notice? It seemed like the building he was in had no relation to whatever like Sho was at. Like they just filmed the scene of him.
Absolutely.
It was like a brick wall. You could there was nothing behind it.
Absolutely. Every time you see somebody like doing a stunt like this, they're getting ready to do a tumble act. They're not getting ready to land on their feet. They're getting ready to like land, and do a tumble. Chief is also doing this, but I love it because Chief has a fucking milk crate. You're like, oh my god, Sho beat everybody already, but we were waiting for the Chief fight.
It's amazing you called him Mario because he does a Donkey Kong. He hurls a crate.
I think that's what they were going for.
I think you're right.
Check out the Instagram at golan-globus. I forget what our Instagram is.
It's just golan-globus theater,
Golan
all one
Globus
word.
Theater. Oh my god, I got a picture up there for you guys. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
You're getting better at this. You're going to have 400 followers.
I hope so.
So, yeah, and he just smashes it across Sho's head. And that stuns Sho temporarily. So they jump in the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle van, and they take off. Sho comes to. Enough time, he grabs on the back, because there's that ladder, so he's got something to grab onto.
Lots to grab onto.
And they fling him off. And they take off. And Sho's like, no, that ain't it, motherfucker.
He finds a fucking shortcut to the next street. He runs over, runs across a couple of cars.
No, you forget. Not only that, he ninjas the fuck out of just the chase. He starts doing like triple flips over walls.
Oh my god. I love it because they show you like the scene of him running up to the wall, and then they cut to the next scene of him going over the wall where the camera's on the other side now. It's like when he jumps over the wall, he's barely clearing it. When it goes the other side, 9.5 feet over.
That was a gymnast that they hired to do that.
Yeah.
So every time there was flips, it was a gymnast. So
it was good.
But this guy's doing like Gymkata shit. He's like doing triple flips.
God.
And then
I'm a horse. What?
And of course, since this is his neighbor, he knows a shortcut. So he catches up to them, grabs back on, goes for a ride. He's on the top. They're like, thankfully, this was the only gang in LA that doesn't carry guns because they were like, we're going to handle it man oh man.
Yeah.
So Sho does a sweet ass move where he's on the top. He does a flip, kicks through the windshield.
Yes.
Starts fucking everybody up. Chief is trying to drive.
Yeah. They stop the van. They pull over. They're like, we're going to beat this guy's ass.
Well,
They all get out.
Well, no, they don't stop it. They crash, and Chief goes flying out the windshield.
That's right.
With Luigi, they go flying out.
That's right.
And then Sho just starts fucking him up. I think he does a sweet move. Sho's on the ground. The guy's like bent over him. He puts the guy in a leg scissor and just starts punching him in the face.
That was good.
And then he's just laying people out. Chief's like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna scalp you like my boss asked.
Gets out his fucking tomahawks. You're like, how is Sho gonna fucking fight this guy?
The Indian guy is using tomahawks, of course.
It's beautiful.
And we get a great scene where Sho's just blocking him, and he's fucking kicks he fucking breaks Chief's neck and just throws him away. Fucking Luigi's got back in the van. He's sweating. He's like, fuck, I'm getting a gun. So thankfully, they keep one in their glove compartment.
Yes.
They don't carry guns, but they keep one in their glove compartment.
It's loaded, though. At least
pulls it out, starts shooting it. Fucking, I just want to say, Matrix stole this scene.
They really did.
Because Sho is literally, I believe literally.
He's bending backwards.
He's dodging bullets.
Yeah. Well, you talked about how ninjas have a power. I think it's the 8th or 7th power where they can stop time and space.
That's the 7th. The 7th, Griff.
7th.
Mastery of time and space.
Didn't I say 8 or 7?
Yeah, but I'm saying 7.
Oh, well, I was in the ballpark, and I gotta say, as
you were in the ballpark.
A non-Neng Chen owner, I am pretty happy.
You got
about
the fuck. You got your own powers with the Screaming Eagle.
Well,
it's
pretty wonderful.
It is.
I'm trying out for the Lions this year. Think I'll make it?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So the guy Luigi's like, I'm out of here. This guy's dodging bullets. He just takes the fuck off.
No, American Eagle. He's the only survivor. Jean Jacket, Canadian tuxedo, who I called American Eagle. Okay. Because he had the American bandana and the giant sunglasses.
Okay. And he takes off. Sho grabs the back. You see, the determination of this guy.
Yeah,
he's like, you're not taking my dolls.
I was like,
because he still doesn't know there's heroin in these. He just thinks they're dolls.
Yeah,
and that's that. Like most people would be like, "Fuck, they're dolls." Like, don't you got insurance? But he doesn't care. It's a principle.
Yeah.
So he grabs on. For some reason, the back door comes off its hinges.
Well, it's a rusted out old van.
I guess. You think these guys are making tons of money selling heroin? They could at least invest in a proper car.
A good fucking villain van. They can't. So
he's hanging on Raiders of the Lost Ark style. Fucking sparks are flying. His fucking pants are getting shredded. Yeah. And unfortunately for Sho, guy hits a really tight curve, flings Sho off.
He hits a fucking car.
Hits a car. You're right.
And then he finally is like, oh, it was the same fucking guy that Kurt Russell was fucking with last week. The Jewish guy who had like the cake for a bar mitzvah or whatever. He's like, oh, why did you fuck my cake?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's fine.
Okay.
You just don't remember this.
I don't remember it.
So, Sho gets thrown. Fucking American Eagle takes off with the dolls and everything. And it's like, you just see Sho's disappointment. This guy is fucking scarred.
His clothes are rags.
His clothes are rags. You see these fucking crazy scars all over. Scars, just like fresh
gashes,
gashes everywhere.
Got black eyes.
And you see like a tear start, and you're like, wow, man.
This guy loved those dolls.
He loved them.
So while that's going on, our man Braden also got the brilliant plan to steal those dolls. So, but he's got balls. He shows up himself. He doesn't send henchmen for this.
Yeah.
And so
if you want a job done right, you do it yourself.
He's in his ninja outfit, and he sneaks in, and he notices that all the dolls are fucking gone. He's, what the fuck?
What?
While that's going on, Grandma, who's tapping into her ninja powers.
Oh, you're looking up that ninja power, huh?
She's tapping into the premonition of danger, the fifth power. She
power.
feels something's going on. And, well, actually, I got ahead of myself because Braden, first thing he does, he goes through, there's a skylight in the dojo, and he's got like a rope ladder, so he comes down. She senses it. She immediately makes a beeline. She's got like an ancient Japanese Funko Pop. It's like this doll. And you're like, what's Grandma going to fucking do? It looks like almost like a bowling pin.
It does, yeah.
And she sneaks up. She sees Braden in the dojo, rips the head off the Funko Pop. There's a fucking dagger. The Sho had to have come up with that weapon.
It had like a chain on it.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
She uses it to lasso his ankle and rip him down from the ladder.
Right.
And you're like, oh my God, Grandma's got game.
And then Grandma does like fucking quadruple flip. She's doing some Gymkhana shit.
Yes, her wig almost falls off. You're like, oh shit, Grandma, hold on.
And as soon as she comes back from like, she finishes her flip, she turns around and Braden just throws a dagger and hits her right in the shoulder. Right in that left shoulder. Always the left shoulder. But it's okay because it came out the back.
I gotta say, Braden's knife game is fucking great.
Yes, it is.
And also, people, if you realize like what has happened in America in the last 8 years and this surge of suffix names with Aiden in them, it's because of this movie.
I believe it.
Yeah. Everybody went to the Aiden suffixes or just Aiden as a name because of this movie.
Well, he's a baller of a villain. I wouldn't name my kid Sho, but you know.
Or Kane.
Yes.
But yeah.
Never Shane.
People keep going.
I've never met a Shane that I liked.
For whatever reason, Americans were just like, no, let's go with the Aiden.
Yeah.
Fucking Aiden.
It's awful. And so, she's like, she throws her fucking ninja smoke bomb down.
Yeah.
And disappears. She's
disappears.
injured.
But of course, Braden
taps into the sixth power, knowing the thoughts of others.
Oh, my goodness.
And he senses
that she's behind that tissue paper wall.
Yeah, I mean, never mind, you can see the silhouette. Yeah. But, you know, she's not that great of a ninja. She is a woman.
Well, I mean, it was.
And
wow, wow, she's just been fucking bled open. And
bled open. You say stabbed. You don't say bled open.
Look,
well, she gets it again because he uses his. I don't know what do you call it? It's not a katana. What is it?
It's just a ninja sword, man.
Ninja
it's
sword,
just a short sword, if you will.
The technical term, ninja sword, and he stabs her right through the guts.
Yeah,
and she just falls through the paper.
He is so tired after this. Like I mentioned before, they're in a heat wave in Utah right now.
He's wearing two masks. That's hot.
So he starts to unravel it to just be like, wait, did I actually get her? Like, he's even impressed by his own ninja-ness.
Right.
But as he's doing this, we see Kane, who is just having fun on the rooftops.
Kids do that.
He's just like, man, I really hope that Kirk Gibson ends up being a Dodger someday. Fucking looks through the skylight, and he's just like, why is there so much blood?
Well, he doesn't. I wish he could do all that. He just stares blankly down from the skylight.
I want to say that we read all that from his face, but I really am just trying to give you an idea of what we're seeing.
He's getting inside the headspace of the character of Kane.
Kane is basically turning into Shane. Shane's ghost is taking over Kane at this moment, so he's just blankly, like, staring. Braden reveals his face, and then his ninth, eighth, fourth, whatever power of the ninja kicks in. He turns around and realizes that Kane is staring at him, and he's like, oh fuck, I gotta go get this kid. But his rope ladder's been pulled down, so he's like, gotta take this other route.
Because Kane cut it. He pulled out pulled out his pocket knife.
Yeah, Kane cut it.
This was like almost Three Stooges style.
It really is. He runs for the only other entrance to the roof.
Yeah.
Why?
And as he runs, Braden comes out, and he runs into the door.
As Braden's opening it.
And I'm glad you pointed out what a huge Dodger fan he is, because his hat falls off, but he takes the time to grab it. Put it back on, and he makes a beeline. He crawls under a thing, and Braden can't crawl.
They're going over and under these fucking ductworks and everything, but he does...
Benny Hill music's playing. It's great.
He gets away, of course.
And Braden's like, fuck. So,
Sho talking to the cops.
Sho returns home with his shredded clothes. Same cop that he talked to earlier. He's like, they see Grandma getting rolled out, and they're like,
hey,
where's your kid at? He's like, he knows where to go when trouble happens.
Yeah, this is, again, I mentioned it earlier, where Sho reveals, like,
I thought Kane to trust no white people. All you know white people are devils.
And the guy's just eating a peanut butter sandwich, and he's like...
Turns out he's right, because a white devil just killed his mom.
Exactly.
And he gets the little, like... What's what we said with the hummingbird? I don't know, that little medallion, the family crest, the saggy butt medallion.
The sag butt.
And he's like, I must get closer to my Lord and Savior. So he goes to his temple.
I mean,
a non-denominational ninja temple.
He is all tattered up at this point. His wounds are still fresh. He's got cuts all over his face, all of that.
He's just meditating. He's tapping into all 9 powers at this moment. He's just doing the fucking hand gestures, and he's resolved himself. I got a fucking ninja up.
I have to. And while we're kind of focusing on Sho realizing he has to ninja up, we get a quick cut to what's going on with Kathy and Braden. Kathy is like, she's being held, by Braden's main guard.
She's
just hanging out in her lingerie. Well,
no, we immediately cut to her being attempted raped by this.
Well, she hears that phone call.
Oh,
because her and Braden are like getting down. She's in her lingerie. She's down to fuck. Braden is trying to fuck her, and she's like, "No, I'm not ready to fuck." And it's like mixed signals. You're in lingerie, and you don't want to fuck.
Don't blame the victim.
So he's just like, "Look, I got business to attend to."
Right.
Of course, he looks at his guard.
Freeze.
Ice keeper?
Deep freeze.
And he's just like, keep an eye on her. And she immediately goes for the phone and tries to call up Sho and let him know.
Okay, and then they catch her, right?
Yeah, they catch her, and fucking the guard immediately was just like, I know what to do with you.
Yeah, well, Braden told him, she acts up, you know what to do.
And apparently what to do is R. The hard R, the rape word.
The rape word. Yeah, rape.
Yeah.
And so we just cut to his, like, he's like in his sumo diapers, and he's just like, slobbering
Pins
on her.
her down, rips the one, like, shoulder strap off, so we get a boob.
Braden shows up. He's like, that's not what I meant.
In ninja costume.
He's like, I didn't mean it that. And
chokes him out.
Yeah, he choked. Apparently they're into choking play, but he's got the kind that slices his throat. So he kills the guy. He's like, that's my woman. You don't rape her. He's got some sense of honor.
Yeah.
Even though he's a scumbag ninja.
But he is super pissed at Kathy right now.
And she's like, I'm out of here. I just came on here to, like, smuggle heroin. I didn't come here to get raped and murder people.
Also, Sho and Kane are fucking great. I'm going to bang both of them someday.
And that infuriates Jaden, Flayden.
Exactly.
And he's like, he taps into, I don't even have this power. Griff.
Yeah, this
the
is
10th power of the ninja. It's beyond enlightenment. It's hypnosis. So he goes, counting down from 10. And she's like, what? 10, 9. And he starts just moving his hands in a circular fashion. Wax on, wax
zoom
off.
in of his eyes, and they're like
they're glowing red.
Jade.
And he's just like doing wax on, wax off in front of her. And she's like, oh, and she gets hypnotized. And he's like, find Kane no matter what you do. And she's like, I am on it. She channels Kane in her acting performance here.
She does.
She just stares blankly.
Maybe that's what happens in the hypnotism. A ghost takes over. Shane was nearby because he's been in the picture the whole time.
Know what it is? I figured it out.
Okay.
Because obviously Sho
knows
the 10th power of the ninja hypnosis too. He hypnotized Kane so he would never use his ninja skills. And that's why he's always in a stupor.
Oh, and he's always... I'm pretty sure the hypnotism...
That was probably in that half hour they got cut off.
My God.
We figured it out, man.
Hey, cheers to that. We did it.
So Dave, he's like, look, your son, he knows where to go because issues. And he's like, but I have some underground contacts. We can find out what's going on.
Yeah. We book these guys every other month. Like, they're always up to bullshit. So, hey, let's go meet with my convict contacts.
They hang out at a playground.
They hang out at a fucking playground. Families, kids, old people, everybody.
You got to put people go to Griff's Instagram. Golan-globus Theater, because you have to put the gang up. They're so fucking amazing.
I got a nice picture of them. They are. It looks like a cast for Streets of Rage, if you know what that is.
I'm going to start from the lamest to the best.
So go ahead, take your time. I'm going to go pee.
Okay. First, we get like a fat, sloppy Mexican biker. So he's got like a leather vest with the eagle patch on it and the headband. Then we get a black guy wearing short shorts and roller skates, and he's got a giant pair of Beats by Dre headphones on. Then we get this. Was he Asian? We get like a fat, I'm going to say Asian guy because he had that classic 80s Rising Sun t-shirt on. And he had like a Fu Manchu mustache and like a mohawk type haircut. And then, finally, we get the greatest member of the gang, played by Steve Lambert, who's the stunt director, who also did all the ninja parts of Braden's character. He's dressed up like a fucking cowboy, got blue cowboy boots, blue jeans, blue cowboy shirt, gigantic fucking Yosemite Sam mustache, shades on, cowboy hat. Looks fucking amazing. And he's the cock of the walk because they're at a picnic table because they are at a playground. So he's just chilling out, laying on the fucking table.
Cigarette in the mouth.
Smoking a cigarette, just fly as fuck. And instead of just asking these guys, don't they just immediately attack them?
No, they do. Sho does very respectfully say, I hear you gentlemen who are on hard times. I understand. I do not judge.
Wow. Okay.
I would like to know if you know anything about my missing son and my dolls.
And they're like, fuck you.
And Sho has zero patience at this point.
He has zero fucks to give.
So he immediately is just like, you boys have done wrong. Rips his shirt off, fucking kicks through the table.
Yes, he does like a chop down with his leg and splits the fucking...
It sends the gang flying back. Like, it's out of an anime because they all go flying
There's
back.
speed lines somehow. I don't know how that happened. And he just starts beating the shit out of the fat, sloppy, like, Mexican guy.
Well, he attacked him first.
Well, right. But, they did destroy their picnic table.
They're
within their rights.
Sure.
And And so, well, he did start it. He just said, fuck you. And so Dave takes on the cowboy. So they're fighting. They're going back and forth.
Yeah.
Fucking Sho fucks up the fat sloppy dude.
He takes out the biker.
Goes to the other fat sloppy Samoan dude with the Rising Sun t-shirt.
They end up on like this high up.
They're fighting in a jungle gym.
Yeah, they're on a jungle gym. They're 30 feet up. There's this beautiful slide.
I just want to say, this was probably the inspiration for American Ninja Challenge. Because they're fighting on an obstacle course.
They are. It absolutely was.
And Rising Sun guy, he pulls out, he's got like, I thought it was a metal pipe, but it was like a stick.
Another weapon.
Another Sho weapon.
Yep. And
they're fighting, and Sho gets the best of it and grabs the pipe, but the guy grabs the end, and there's a fucking blade. There's a blade on every fucking weapon here. There's a hidden blade. The blades on blades on blades.
I love the one scene where somebody hands somebody a straw. It's still got the paper on it. I thought it was just like, oh, they're going to pull the paper off and reveal the straw. Fucking blade came out of that, too.
It was amazing.
Blades and everything, man.
But that's not enough. For Sho still fucks him up, and he just hurls him down a slide. And the guy face plants right in the sand at the bottom.
Yeah, just as he face plants, like, Dave has been working on the fucking cowboy, punches, like, uppercuts him. He goes into the net.
Yeah, he rolls down the net.
Loses his hat, so he's, like, fuming at this
Discombobulated. And Sho's like, no, I want a piece of that cowboy.
He gets back down, and he's going to start fucking tussling with that cowboy. And the cowboy, like, pulls a knife out of his boot or something. And so
that ain't
Sho...
shit for what Sho's got.
Sho picks up his fans. And
yes.
He's just like...
He pulls up his pants like... He has a fan, like the Japanese fans.
Yeah.
He has one in each, like, sock. Yeah. Pulls them out. They look like his fans, too. There's no blades on them.
Well, he starts fighting with just those. And he's, like, blocking everything and, like, keeping them at bay. And then finally, like, flips them around and, like, switchblades. He folds them into, like, throwing knives.
And then he cuts off half of his Yosemite Sam mustache.
Yeah, beautiful cut.
That's how deadly these blades are. It literally removes half of his mustache.
Yeah, that's it. Not a drop of blood. Just swing.
And then he's just like, he's a ninja. He can do that.
Beating the shit out of him.
That's like the 11th power of the ninja. Close shave. And he's fucking him up. And he's like, I've had enough of this. Closes up the fan and slams it on the cowboy boot, pins the guy's foot down. Oh,
yeah. Gives him, like, the final roundhouse, and it's like, cowboy is done. And in the heat of all this moment, you're finally like, okay, this is the period on it. And
we're like, where the hell is Roller Boogie Charles Barkley?
Exactly. It wasn't a period. It was a semicolon, because out from this pillar pops what'd you call him?
The Roller Boogie Charles Barkley.
Roller Boogie pops out. By the way, I put a picture of this up as well. Pops out from behind a pillar, and he's just got this little 6-shooter next to his eye.
And then
it's so good.
And then Sho does like the Indiana Jones movie where the guy's twirling the sword. He's like, I've had enough of this. So he just pulls. Of course, he's got like ninja stars on his belt buckle. He had more than one. It was like a dispenser.
It was.
And he's like,
it was like a Pez dispenser of ninja stars.
And he pins the guy's hand to like whatever he was hiding behind.
Yeah.
And so they get no information. This was just put in to have this awesome action scene.
The most amazing action scene ever. So everyone gets back to playing at the park. No one gives a fuck anymore. They're all just like, all right, let's move this dead body out of the way. Let's go down the slide.
Yeah, people are like caning it. They've been hypnotized because they're just staring like slack jawed at this fucking amazing fight.
So Kane's gonna head back home because he's like, as his dad said, he realized danger was over, right? Well, he heads back home.
Because he tapped into the fucking...
what power?
Fifth power.
Fifth power.
Premonition of danger.
Okay. Well, obviously, his fifth power isn't too strong because he gets home.
But no, because he's got a soft heart. That's why.
Okay. So he needs a heart in that heart.
Yes.
So he gets home, and Kathy's there, and she's training. And
she has pants on. It's crazy.
She has pants on, and it's crazy. And he is just like, I don't want to deal with this bitch right now because she's going to tell me about how hot my dad is.
He just saw his grandma die.
Just saw his grandma die. He doesn't want to hear about how hot his dad's dick is. So he's just like, I'm going to try to sneak by her and go up to my room. She catches him immediately. He's like, oh, Kane, come here. I learned how to do this jump kick, and I want to show it to you.
And then then all of a sudden that fifth power starts tingling like Spider-Man, sense.
Well, he doesn't say anything because apparently
he just stares off into the
he's
distance.
autistic or something. So he's about to go run upstairs, and she like grabs him, fucking throws her
he's like,
over
bitch,
his
don't
head.
touch my satin jacket.
Yeah.
And
this is a Dodgers jacket. She's obviously an Angels fan because she's always
first of
wearing
all,
red.
he should have done some dodging because she caught him.
Yeah, she does.
And we get another wacky fucking Three Stooges kung fu scene.
There is no way to take a screenshot of this. I might have to try to get a nice GIF of it together, but there's no way to take a screenshot of this where it doesn't just look like, wait, what the fuck's happening? So, yeah, let's go ahead and give it a go here. So these two start having an all-out fight. Kane does want to get away, though.
Right.
Like, he always returns to this door, and he jiggles the knob. It's locked. He doesn't have a key, but he keeps trying to jiggle it open.
Because it's when you just turn it the right way, it opens. It's got a trick to it.
Yeah. He's like, wait, maybe the doorknob actually turns right instead of left. But these two, they're fucking going at it hardcore. Like, he's always trying to escape. And as she, like, reaches for him the one time, he, like, kicks her in the jaw. Like, this is no holds barred.
Yeah, well, he's 10, so she can take it. He's 6, actually.
Yeah.
And I love, like, he runs headfirst into the door. He tries that.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
And then, because he's got a lot of hair, so he maybe thought he could do it. But he fails. He goes, ah! And, like, most, like, that's the most acting he's ever done in the movie. He's like, oh, my head!
Yeah.
And he's just evading her. He's like when you try to get your dog to take a bath, and he just knows how to get away.
There's the one time he returns to the door, and this is what leads us into the big ultimate, like, the last little spar they had. He gets to the door, realizes he's not retarded. It doesn't turn left or right. It's just locked. But he turned around in time to see Kathy running at him. So he kicks her straight in the badge. And
that's a weak point.
That, like, flips her out. She rolls around for a little while, but then she's just like, I'm done with this bitch. Grabs a staff, a full metal staff. It looked like a pool staff. It had the net on the one end, but she turned it around so she wasn't stabbing him with the net end. And she just starts, like, thrusting it into his face, and everyone's like, wait, so she's trying to kill him?
He goes, you kick somebody in the cooch, all bets are off.
Yeah.
And she starts this wailing on him with his staff, so he grabs his own staff.
Did you notice every blow she lands is to his butt?
Well, that's what I tell you.
I mean, this is what I call the Adrian Peterson choreography.
And so they're back and forth with the stats. He has his own staff. But, of course, these are staffs designed by Sho Kosugi, because there's got to be a knife in there.
Yeah.
So he whips off the end, so it's a spear now.
Well, he fucking disarms Kathy, and Kathy grabs onto his spear, thinking, well, I'm stronger than a fucking 5-year-old. So she grabs onto his. He pulls away, and a fucking blade is revealed.
And then
he closes in on her.
And he pins. She's like backed up against the wall, and fucking. This is what I say is a soft heart grip. He shows mercy,
drops it,
and walks away.
Just turns his back.
And he's still going for that locked door.
Locked fucking door.
And that's his Achilles heel, because she grabs him.
Yeah, she just like gets up,
puts him under her arm, slaps his butt, and says, "We're going, mister."
Slaps his butt for sure. It's like, I'm gonna get a switch in a minute.
So they go back. So they have him. They have him like in Braden's clutches, but she's finally broken out of the spell. She's like back to being the normal Kathy.
Yeah, she's like, Braden, I got him for you, but let's let him go. I hate this. And Braden is like, look, keep him here.
And he turns to his mini deep freeze, who's like,
he's got a new guard.
He's got a hobo guard. Okay, let's describe this guy.
He killed his last guard, so he's got a new guard.
He's a chubby Asian dude wearing sweatpants and no shirt. He looks like fucking Carl from Aqua Teen with hair. That's what he looks like.
Asian Carl from Aqua Teen. So Braden 3-piece suit, Kathy like ninja-gi, Carl from Aqua Teen, no shirt, sweatpants, green flip-flop. And then you have a kid in a Dodgers.
And his fucking fly-ass satin Dodgers.
Beautiful piece. Director did a great job.
So Braden's like, I have to make a call to Cafano. And he's just letting him know, this is it. This is the end game, people. Fuck Avengers end game. This is fucking Revenge of the Ninja end game.
I don't know how you're excited for that. I don't know how anybody's excited for this Avengers stuff.
What are we're not talking about Avengers.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Avengers is boring.
So unlike the movie we're talking about. So he goes, calls up, he pulls a fucking Manhunter, and he goes, Cafano, it's time.
Oh, no.
And Cafano fucking freaks out, and he goes, everybody, get the fuck down on the ground floor.
Yeah,
because he owns a gigantic building. That's how powerful this guy is.
He goes down to his billiards room where all of his guys are hanging out, and he's like, man, I really wish he didn't kill my masseuse.
Well, that's going. Kathy finally gets away because Carl had to go get a beer.
So much tension.
And she's like, Cho, Braden is a ninja. He's behind all of this.
Yeah.
And fortunately,
Sho was laughing on the phone like, Kathy, what the fuck are you talking about?
What are you talking? He's my best friend. He's helping me open this.
He got my store open. He
paid for all the neon.
He bought me some fucking firework pops.
And she's like, no, I'm serious. And he's like, my God, maybe she's right. So Dave's like, look, dude, we got him. Let's go to the police. And then fucking Sho. He says the most succinct line you can ever say when it comes to ninja warfare.
When it comes to action, golan-globus, 80s warfare.
No job for the police. Only ninja can stop ninja.
So at this point, now we have Kane's been kidnapped.
Kathy gets found out by Braden in the middle of the phone
because
call.
Again, middle of the phone call, which the Garfield phone, good touch. I was happy to see a Garfield phone in a movie because, hey, Garfield. We're paid by Garfield this week. Garfield. Check it out.
I hate Mondays.
Lasagna.
I love lasagna.
So Kathy is being put into this torture machine. It's pre-waterboarding.
It's sinister as all hell.
At that time, he was sinister as all hell.
I actually think there is a horror movie called Hot Tub Massacre.
There is.
Okay, well, this is what inspired it.
Yeah. And so she gets strapped into a hot tub.
Spread eagle tied to inside a hot tub.
Yeah.
And Kane is tied up as too, and he's in a sauna. Apparently, they're going to dehydrate him to death.
You're just gonna sweat this out, kid.
And so he's in his ninja gear now. Carl's there with him. And he's just like gloating over.
Yeah. Moderate freeze. Make sure these guys do not escape.
Lukewarm.
And
so he takes a moment to open the sauna door and go, and then shuts the door.
I love that level of evilry. Like, I'm going villain at some point in my life. Like, I'm not quite to midlife crisis, but when I do, I'm going to that level of villainy.
And he's like, turn on the jets.
Turn on the Jets.
And then Carl turns on these spray jets in the hot tub.
He turns on the New York Jets from last year.
And they're just spraying her in the face. It's like a wet T-shirt contest, torture, everything.
Yeah, you get
because she's wearing a wife beater and some panties.
Clear cut of her boobs.
And Carl's loving it. He's like, all right on, boss. Go kill some Italians. So, back to the shadows.
He kind of knows his target now. He knows that Braden has betrayed him. He's believing in it.
I'm going to do something I swore I'd never do.
And so he goes in, and of course he's got a mysterious compartment in his wall that no one ever noticed.
In his dojo wall.
And so he touches it, and like Star Trek, you hear the guy behind the wall start to push it out and go.
And it's his ninja attaché case. Opens it up. Dry ice comes out. It's fucking amazing. He's got a light up fucking. It's like a panel with lights, and everything's splayed out perfectly. And he just starts gearing up.
Yep. Heads to his old ninja temple, and he's just like, I'm so glad.
He starts going through all of the fucking hand signals of the 9 powers. He's tapping into all these powers. He tapped into the 9th power. Control the elements, because as soon as he puts on his ninja mask, the wind starts blowing. It's fucking smoke is flowing, and he's just like, you're like, yes, this is it. This is the end.
Finally. So now we're gonna join Braden. He's outside Cafino's. He's ready to fucking take over.
But there's like 12 people with machine guns.
All of the guards, by the way, they're just on the front, like, little porch of the
Meanwhile,
building.
this is like public building. There's this guy standing out with machine guns. It's like they're they're showing the right to bear arms. I'm sorry, I don't mean I shouldn't be criticizing them. They're exercising their rights.
What Braden ends up doing is like going to the adjacent building, using his zip line, and just like scooching over. He zips over.
Well,
Did you notice what he attached his zip line to?
No.
He unscrews a light bulb.
Yes, I did notice that. That little spring that holds like a recessed light.
A can light.
Yeah.
He puts his little hook on that. Zip lines 4,000 feet over.
First of all, he pulls out a gigantic bow and arrow that he has to use his feet to fucking use.
Yeah.
Shoots it across. And I get what happened. There's an interesting story about the making of the movie.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so... Oh, boy.
We're almost 2 hours in, man.
I don't give a shit. This is a great episode. So they're like, much like you're bitching about time, they were like, dude, we got to get this fucking scene. And he's like, did anybody test it? And the guy's like, I don't fucking have time. We're just going to do it. And one guy's like,
no way.
No, we're going to test this. Fuck you. You're not going. He's like, no, I can do it. So like, no, we're gonna test it. So they got like 200 pounds of sand, and they tested it, and it fucking snapped and broke down
immediately.
And the guy's like, "Fuck, I could have died." And it's not just because I hung it on a little spring that's inside a recessed light.
Oh man!
But yeah, like you said, he goes across it. The recessed light holds it. He breaks through the window.
He's got those 9 powers of the ninja that keep him up there.
And so he's doing his ninja shit. He's like methodically taking out all the henchmen. Yeah. There's this great scene where he's got to pick a lock, and so he's like kneeling down. He's got his ninja lockpick. There's a knife on the lockpick, and he just nonchalantly just pulls out a handful of jacks and throws them on the ground.
He expects that somebody is going to come around and see him. He's like in the fucking corridors of a Holiday Inn. There's only so many places guards can be and keep him safe.
And he's smart because the guy goes, "Hey there, what are you doing?"
But it's fucking hacksaw Jim Duggan, so he's like, "Oh!" and he pulls out a fucking 2x4 and runs at him.
And like Braden, like he just like looks over his shoulder and just tosses a handful of
marbles.
He's got ninja jacks. He's like it's like a ninja version of jacks.
It was caltrops.
Oh, okay.
I had to look it up, so we're gonna use the fucking word
caltrops. And he goes, oh, and slips on the ball and floats face first into the caltrops.
Caltrops.
And he comes up, and his face is like got a million of them.
Yeah, you get a shot of all the caltrops in his face. Oh, my God, it's so wonderful. That scene, I wish it were Hacksaw Jim Duggins, but it's a guy with a gun, and he runs at him like to show him, like, I have a gun, you need to leave.
It's amazing how slimy mafioso are more honorable than the fucking ninjas are.
Exactly. Again,
that's how scummy ninjas are.
This is how scummy ninjas are.
So, and he's like methodically taking out. He goes into like a stairwell and chops the guy's hand off, throws a smoke bomb. He's just killing people. While that's going on, Sho finally shows up, and he's like, I'll do one better. You got the zip line, I got the tiger claws. So he put the tiger claws on, and he just starts climbing up the fucking building. While that's going on, Dave realizes, why the fuck are we doing this? I'm just going to fuck up these people at the doorway.
Yeah.
So he just takes out everybody in the doorway.
Yeah, he walks up. He's wearing his police jacket, and they're just like, hey, the police aren't needed here. And Dave's just like, well, bitch, have you ever seen an episode of Cops? And the guy's like, what are you talking about? Cops isn't invented yet. And he just starts punching them all in the face. They've got AK-47s right there. And, yeah, not a shot's fired.
Apparently, Caifano needs to teach you guys how to shoot a gun.
Maybe they're just there to, keep people away. They're not there to actually shoot people.
I don't know. I doubt.
Intimidate. That's the word I was looking for.
So we cut back to Kathy, still being jetted with
hose. Well, now they turned the jets on. We didn't see them before, but now the jets slapping her in the face. You're just like, oh my God, she's gonna die any minute now, right?
Then we see fucking Kane's like, I need some water.
What'd you call him? Lukewarm?
Yes, lukewarm. He pulls out some nunchucks.
He's laughing
and retardedly flipping them around,
just flipping around, and as he's doing it, he's just like, man, Kathy, you're kind of hot. I kind of think I wanna bone you. And as he's really thinking about it, this is when Kane is like, wait a minute, these are rope cuffs. There's an open fire right there.
Well, yeah. Well, they're not open fires. It's hot rocks.
Okay, hot rocks, open fire.
He's hot rocking.
Hot rocking.
So the heat from them does break the ropes. So he goes, "Hey there!" And then Carl goes, what? And then he just kicks the door to Carl's face, and his face goes through the window. Man. And he goes, you ain't going to need these nunchucks. Let me show you how a man uses nunchucks. He starts flipping him around. He's slapping Carl in the gut.
And Carl is just like, I'm not fazed by this. And finally, Kane goes, hey, there's Superman. And Carl is just like, whoa, Superman? I'm going to get his autograph. And he fucking gives him the low blow that's all it needed. He just hits him right in the dick hole. And
then he just slashes his throat. It was kind of over the top. But, necessary.
Seeing Kane's face being splattered in blood, it was like, wow, he's young. He's 6.
And he's just, like, staring off into nothingness.
Yeah.
Because he's reached the 9th level, enlightenment.
And so he frees up fucking...
Frees Kathy. And, like, all right, we're great. Good to go. So that's going on. Sho is doing some more of his own ninja skills. He accidentally stumbles into some more goons in another stairwell.
Yep.
And the guy grabs his mask. And you don't do that to a ninja.
You don't.
And it infuriates him so much, he spits fucking caltrips.
Apparently, all ninjas keep caltrips in their mouth.
Yes, well, good ones do.
Yeah.
And the guy fucking, his face is ruined.
It looks like Jack's just stuck in his face. He falls over on that face. Oh, it's horrible.
Cut back to Shane. Not Shane. You wrote Shane, but it's Kane.
Oh, did I?
Yes, Kane and Kathy. Kane and Kathy.
I think at this moment it is Shane because Kathy is like, I'm going to call the police. And
she's totally Girls Gone Wild at this moment.
Yeah.
She's got the wettest of wettest T-shirts.
It looked like one of those fucking promos. You're right. Because she is jumping around like, I'm dialing the police. I could be calling you tonight.
Kane is like, humana.
I wish he were doing that because, no, he is blankly staring. Body is complete zombified. He is not moving. He is just staring straight at tits.
So, and here's another thing I want to point out that people love to do in movies that is not possible. Braden is... he's underneath some drop ceiling. A drop ceiling cannot hold 200-pound man.
No.
But always in movies, it always does. Like, people think they can do that
Absolutely.
shit. So he's right at the door to the office of Caifano. And he's got... Why does Caifano have, like, 80-year-old men, like, as his henchmen? But he does. So he's making... Like, this is what I thought was funny, okay? He's supposed to be a ninja. And also, obviously, they put sound effects in later. They make the loudest noise as he's, like, taking off the tile. And the guys don't notice him. He, like, hangs down, stabs him in the face with some, like, knives. They die. Busts into Caifano's room. Caifano's got a machine gun. Once again, he uses it, doesn't he? Does he shoot at all?
He tries to shoot, but then he gets a fucking knife right in his hand.
Because, like you said, Braden's the master of the knife skills.
He really is.
And we're just going to assume Caifano gets killed because we never see Caifano again.
Yeah, he just disappears.
Yeah.
I think he gets away. I think Caifano is going to be in the Total Domination, the third.
I'm going to disagree with that.
Okay.
And so, I guess Caifano, not Caifano, and then Braden just leaves. He doesn't even take the fucking heroin.
Nope.
He's just like, I just want to prove a point. I can do that anytime I want.
Yeah, he was
he's back in the Holiday Inn. He's walking out, stumbles into Dave. Dave's like, hey, you're that ninja with a silver mask.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Yeah, you are.
Chases him down, fucking like tackles him, and he's like, hey, Blanco Nino, I'm going to take you downtown and fucking cuff you up and get your fingerprints and everything, and all that. And Brady's just like, bitch, please. Fucking slashes him across his chest or something.
What he does is he's got his own like little like staff, and he stabs him in the gut with the staff, and then he pushes the button, and then because there's knives upon knives on everything, goes in, stabs him, fucking takes off, and then Sho shows up, and. He's like, Dave, my best friend.
My only American friend.
Apparently, because he thought Braden was his friend, and he was not. And he's just like, no, don't die on me. Live, damn you. And Dave's like, I have to die. This is how movies like this end.
Take my badge. You have immunity now.
You have to... Vengeance. You need to do the revenge part of Revenge of the Ninja.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm on it. All right, guys. This is for all the marbles. 10-minute fight scene.
We got to get up to the rooftops.
It's amazing.
And we start
beautiful downtown Salt Lake City in the background.
Mountains everywhere.
Purple mountain majesty.
We should have been able to tell from all the Mormons. That was drink spill number 3 on the day, I think.
So, They go to the where you can, if you can have a ninja fight, where you can go? You can go to the tennis court that's on the top of the building.
It wasn't a tennis court.
It was a volleyball court.
No,
what was
I
it?
knew you were gonna get this wrong. Badminton.
Okay.
Yeah, you can tell by how flimsy that net was.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue that.
I know.
So watch it. I don't care how much you've been drinking. I will choke you out.
No, you won't.
I'm about to let's push pause for a second.
Okay.
Let me put you in a ninja chokehold. So they face off. This because only ninja can stop ninja.
Yeah.
So
we know that. We
So one side of the badminton court, other side of the volleyball court.
Wow.
And they kneel down and they stare at each other.
They start doing their hand gestures.
They're
praying to the ninja gods, right?
Yeah, sure.
Is this how ninja fights happen?
That's how mine do.
This is why I like Brayden more as a ninja than Sho. Because Brayden immediately, before Sho even gets done praying, he gets his sword out and charges at him. And
because Sho is actually the one ninja with honor. You always go on about scummy ninjas are, and now you're like, fuck him, Brayden's awesome. I love Brayden.
No, Brayden's a true ninja. Sho is like, I also do these things, but I'm not a ninja. He's not a ninja.
Wow.
That doesn't take the talent away from him.
Totally.
No.
He's done a 180 on Sho Kosugi.
No,
You're never drinking again.
Wow.
You're not drinking again while we're doing this.
You don't get this. I love Sho. He's not a ninja. He's just super talented in martial arts. Fucking Brayden is a ninja because he's scummy as all fuck. Ninjas are heels.
They're tweeners.
No, they're heels.
The sword fighting. Back and forth, back and forth.
That's when we start getting like some like Brayden's.
I think every ninja weapon is used in this fight scene.
Oh no, every single one. You get like various objects that look like completely like. At one point, Brayden pulls out a rolling pin and Sho's like, "What are you gonna do with that?"
And I think Sho loses his sword like 5 times, yet somehow it magically comes back to him. That must be the 12th power.
He's carrying like 3 different swords on him.
Well, he gets his taken away from him because Brayden pulls out the chain and the staff move that Grandma had earlier.
Yeah,
and he grabs it and yanks it out, and he's like, yoink! He takes out because it's like we talk about this countless times with the movies we do. Cat and mouse games, mind games.
Yeah.
And Brayden is the master of the mind games. He's toying with Sho through this whole fucking fight.
He's super scummy. He's like every heel wrestler you've ever seen. Like he's got all kinds of outside interference.
So he first tries to kill Sho with the sword, but even though Sho is unarmed at this moment, he's evading it. So he's like, I'm out of here. So he takes off from the court and just leaps away.
Hops up into another rooftop.
And then Sho gives chase. So, Sho looking around, he's like,
we get a nice first person view of this rooftop. Like every time he gets to a new rooftop, the director was like, first person view of Sho's, what Sho's seeing.
And so he looks away, and then you can see it around a corner. Brayden just peeks his head out. It's like, tee-hee, I'm onto you, and he goes back. And the Sho's just walking back, and he bumps, and he gets grabbed by the fucking Brayden, and you're like, holy shit! And he whips out another knife and cuts the fucking Brayden in half, right down the middle.
Good. Movie over.
It's that old paper mache ninja trick, dude.
Grab him.
Ninja magic.
Ninja. And you see Brayden up top shining. He's reflecting the sunlight with his sword. And he's laughing. He's like, "You bitch! You fell for the oldest ninja trick." I've been a ninja. Like
he fell for the second oldest because the next one is the oldest ninja trick.
I like it. I love when Sho figures out that Brayden's a ninja because he's like, "No, he can't be a ninja because he hasn't been in." Oh wait, he's been in Japan for 20 years. The perfect amount of time to become a ninja.
Yes. It takes 20 years.
20 years.
Unless you do the Nangen, then it's like a month. So I told you we told you earlier, there's a lot of hot tubs in this movie. There's a hot tub on top of this building.
Hot tub.
And it's so hot, full of water, going to make you sweat. And that's an Eddie Murphy joke. And he's standing there, like looking around right next to the hot tub. And then a hand jumps up out of the water and grabs his leg. But he's too quick for it. So he slices the arm right off.
Ooh.
And then he picks it up. It's a robot arm. He's like, huh?
Robot arm.
And while he's looking at the robot arm, Braden dives out of the hot tub and slashes his knees. And then they're going back and forth. And there's it's just a lot of back and forth at this moment. So, and every kind of weapon you can think of is utilized, and everything has knives on it.
Yes.
So
anything that looked like a normal object suddenly springs a knife. It looks like a scythe. It looks like a fucking spear.
We get scenes where like Sho is like hanging over the edge, and then he comes back, and then finally Braden kicks him off the wall.
Yeah, they get to the tallest of roofs.
Right.
And fucking Braden delivered I don't even remember how he did. He was doing like a peekaboo act with Sho, and finally he fucking peekabooed the fuck out of him, kicks him in the chest. Sho goes flying off the roof,
and then he goes, "Go, gadget grapnel!"
And it just happens to grab on another can light fixture,
another level of a roof.
Yeah, that just happened to be hanging around there, and so he starts repelling himself, and this is when like Kathy and Kane arrive at the building, and they start scaling up it, and we see Sho scaling up, and that's all that matters is Sho scaling back up.
He gets back up, and then fucking Braden's gone again. So once we get another face-off, this is the final face-off. So they start fighting with their fucking swords.
Sho gets his sword knocked away again.
And then he's pinned on the ground, and he's got his hands clamped on the blade, and he's holding it's like an inch from his eye.
Well, Braden didn't even have the blade out at this point. He was using like some kind of wooden object. He grabbed onto it, and then Braden pulls away, and it's the sheath of the sword. So
another fucking blade.
Yeah, exactly. So now Braden's got the blade, Sho's got just the sheath, and they're like sword fighting.
Where he gets pinned down, he's got the move where he's holding the blade with his hands.
Yeah.
Inches it from his face. Knocks him back. Fucking, he goes, I don't know how he did this. He had a flamethrower with a knife on it. And he shoots a flamethrower at Sho. Sho evades it. They come together. I forget.
Dude,
there's just more sword fighting, people.
It was just like a tussle. It was like a wrestling tussle where they had their hands met. Then at one point, just Sho decided, like, I'm going to reach for my belt in a second, grab my knife, and stab him in the esophagus. So sure enough, he goes down, grabs him, stabs him.
Well, he slashes up and cuts the mask right off in half.
That's after he stabs him.
And it turns out
we
thought this was like a metal mask. It's just plastic.
Yeah, it was cheap. It was
and then
from
he does
Halloween,
the old
USA.
fucking samurai movie move where he cuts across his stomach, and then we see the tube where the blood sprays out. It's like Kill Bill. Blood sprays out, collapses, and dies.
Shane's just getting sprayed in blood. It looks like
Shane's
a sprinkler.
not here. Shane
I'm
died
sorry.
in the beginning
Sho,
of the movie.
we talked about that. Sho is just getting sprayed with blood. Fucking Kathy and Kane come up.
Kathy comes. She gets her shirt sprayed with blood instead of water.
Yeah.
Fucking Kane's just staring like a moron. He's like, duh.
They all put their hands in and do like a cheer. And
then we get a nice
credits.
helicopter shot of them just going back down. The end.
Wow. 1 year. This episode took way long. It was gonna happen.
I know. There's so much shit to talk about.
This is a G&G.
Imagine if we could actually talk about action coherently, how long it would have taken.
Oh my god, we had to dumb it down. We had to dumb it down.
So I'm going to be really quick with this, but we have a very special episode next week. I'm glad you mentioned Avengers because apparently there's a movie called The Avengers coming out.
I wouldn't know.
I mean, it's like Hulk, Captain America, Emma Peel, John Steed, The Avengers.
Oh, the Ultimates.
Yeah. And fuck that movie, Griff. We're going to do the Of course, we always say canon does it first. Canon did superhero movies first.
Yes, they did.
And we're going to do the canon superhero movie, Superman 4.
Quirky as fuck.
Quest for Peace. And not only that, this is very special. Hopefully this works out. Because knowing us, who the fuck knows us? But we're going to have a buddy of ours, our buddy Stuart, our man in Manchester. He's a good friend of ours. He's one of our early supporters. So we just reached out to him like, hey, man, you do a podcast. Do you want to be on our podcast? And he's like, fuck yeah, I want to be on your podcast. So we're going to try that. Hopefully it works out next week to get him on, and we're going to talk about that. And look, if you stuck through this 2-hour episode, I just want to warn you, this is probably going to be another 2-hour one just because he's a guest and we want to get, I'm honestly, I'm not speaking for you, but I'm honestly interested in hearing someone outside of America's take on canon films. Like, I mean, because these are so American to me. I just think you would be like,
no. We're full of questions on how this reached, because like we've joked about before, we have a huge UK following and we don't know why.
Right.
Because obviously these are all very American movies.
Right. So we're going to interview him on that.
We're going to put his feet to the fire.
Yes. You better prepare yourself, Stuart. This is going to be trial by fire.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do that, and hopefully he'll be the number one guest because Mike is now officially, he's better than us. Mike is our most popular person.
Exactly.
And we don't like that.
We don't.
And so, Stuart, come through for us, buddy. So we're doing that next week, Superman 4. See you there. Keep it warm.
A Golan-globus production. Another good one from Canon.